Going live! You're live! Yeah, so I started the stream laughing. I just, YouTube said, "You're live!" So I just started yelling it out like a crazed German soldier. "You're live! You're live!" And it made me laugh like a hyena. Alright, so. I recently had a bump in subs. Like about 500 or so, maybe. So welcome. If this is your first time to the stream, just want to let you know I'm fucking unorganized as shit. I don't schedule these streams. Like, there's no like, oh, every Wednesday at 8. Like, that doesn't happen here. I usually have a cringe stream like once every month on whatever I decide to talk about. So, and like I said, they're not scheduled for whatever fucking reason. Like I'm not organized. Like, my creative brain doesn't allow me to be organized. You can release that video on that day and do that on that. Like, it just doesn't work that way. But anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Night of Cringe number 40 of these motherfuckers. This is the only thing that's like the most organized thing I've ever done on this channel is like number these fucking streams. And we're on number 40. And ooh, I want to let you guys know that there is, I forgot what number it was, but there's one episode of Night of Cringe that I have not, that it got removed because of some stupid ass fucking Kesha song that I was roasting. So what I'm gonna have to do is maybe cut that part out, or I don't know, do something so I can repost it and put it back so you guys can enjoy it, because there is some funny shit in that stream. Mahler shows up and we start talking about ghetto names. It's like, so like it is funny, and it pisses me off that it's not up. So I'm gonna try to work on that. But yeah, tonight we're gonna be talking about Eternals, bad Eternals reviews, mostly positive reviews. Not mostly, they're all positive reviews. Every bad Eternals review is a positive one. And I don't give a damn if I'm being unfair. Like, it's true. Because these days, when people try to defend a film, like, they just won't, like, even if it's obviously terrible, they just won't fucking admit it. They just won't admit that, maybe I like trash. Maybe I like garbage. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you like garbage. But people don't see it that way. People don't want to see it that way. So they try their hardest to be like, look, the movie's brilliant, okay? And this is why. And it's just like, shut up. just acknowledge that it sucks and shut up. And basically I think that's what most of these reviews are, like, really trying to make up for how bad the film is. Like, no, it's really good, and I really don't understand why people hate it. Like, you know why. You're just extremely, what's the word? Delusional. Mr. DJ, Fly High, Jay Longbone, have you seen the Poison Ivy on Batwoman? Oh, yes. Oh, God. Oh, God. I was gonna save this joke, because I eventually will make reactions for season 3. Right now, I'm trying to maneuver and navigate my other content right now. I want to get the Dracula video out first. It's gonna take a little longer because I'm going out of town to see my mom for Thanksgiving, and I haven't seen her in like a while, like months, and I miss my mommy. And all, like, the family's getting together, and we're having some good ass food. We're gonna chill, relax, forget about no family drama in this Thanksgiving, because there's not gonna be any outside relatives. Thank God. There's just gonna be immediate, like, me, mom, dad, sisters. That's it. It's gonna be great. But anyway, like, getting off that. I don't even know why the fuck I even said that, but whatever. I gotta get this Dracula video done first, and then Oh my god. I forgot what I was gonna say. It was leading up to something. Like, what the fuck? I was maneuvering. Oh, right. Yeah, all right. I'm still gonna do the season 3 Batwoman reactions. It's just gonna take a little time. It's gonna take a little bit of time. Skotsky, O2, $2 super chat. But Jay, the movie is diverse. I know it is, and it's. We'll get to that. It's diverse to a fault, you could say. Like I said, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that shit. Yeah, I got. How many fucking reviews do I have in my watch later? There was so many of them, and the Film Theorist came out with one, and I had to add that because that was dog water. That was dog piss. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 of these motherfuckers. They weren't hard to find either. But anyway, yeah, I was gonna like I said, I was gonna save this joke for a reaction, but I said to myself, looking at that shit, she looks like she's from a porno, like Asian Whores from Mars, volume 1. Asian Whores from Mars. We conquer your planet long time. Oh god. It's even worse because this guy's review, the guy in the video, he's Asian. Oh lord. Stop Asian hate, guys. It's all good. It's all good. Seventh the Conqueror. Jay, I simp for you. Aw, thank you. Joe Smith, greetings, J-Lo. Hello. The drunk Ronin. But Jay, that's a gay black man. Hey. Does it make sense for a robot to be gay? Who the hell does? I'm really fucking. In fact, before we get to these reviews, I'm really fucking sick of the trope. Oh, do robots have feelings? Do they have souls? No, they don't. And I don't know why people keep fucking programming them with emotions. It doesn't make any sense. You just asking for some shit to go down. It's the dumbest fucking trope in sci-fi films. Stop it. They're toasters with faces. Like, stop it. They're not real humans. The drunk Ronin. That was a joke, by the way. I know. But yeah, like, it's so fucking dumb. It's just dumb. Why does a robot even have sexuality? Like, no one should be in a relationship in that film. Like, it shouldn't work. Because they're robots. Anyway, all right, let's get to it. Let's get down to it. We're wasting time. It's only been like 9-10 minutes of me babbling, but let's get to it.
Hey everyone, it's David Chen. Let's talk about Eternals, the latest Marvel film. Short version, I love this movie and I'm confused by all the hate it's getting. Let's get into it.
I'm confused by all the hate it's getting and show some of the worst CGI in the film. I'm confused. Why is it getting all this hate? Hang on, back up. Hey guys, why is it getting all this hate? I don't know.
One quick note.
And you got Richard Madden taking a shit while laser beams come out of his eyes.
This review will contain extremely minor plot details. I do not consider these spoilers.
Why? See, that's the thing. Here's the thing. How can you convince me that a movie is good without giving anything away? I mean, maybe for some movies that can work. But this is like one of those movies that it's shit. It's shit. It's shit. How you gonna convince me that it's good without giving certain things away? I don't believe that can work. I don't believe that can happen. But, whatever.
Spoilers. But you have been warned. If you want to go in completely fresh, just watch the movie first, then come back to this video review. Also, if you're new to my channel, hello, I'm David Chen. I regularly post about
He seems nice. I'm gonna feel bad about roasting
movies
him.
and TV with the occasional tech review thrown in there. Be sure to hit like or subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that bell icon to get notified whenever I post something new. So,
Nathan Pattinson, $4.99 super chat. Hey JL, love your movie and trailer reviews. I'm still laughing over your Sneakerella take. You're my favorite YouTuber, brilliant and hilarious. Oh, thank ya. FYI, don't hold me to this because there's so many. I'm reevaluating my upload and like editing flow, and I want to kind of do a reaction to that new Home Alone movie for Christmas. You know, I want to do that, but I don't know if it's gonna come out in time for Christmas. Like I said, don't hold me to it, but that's something I just want to happen. Anyway, pause. But thank you, Daniel Nathan. I said Daniel. Nathan Pattinson, thank you for the super chat.
So, Eternals. The story for this movie is a little bit complicated. In fact, it's so complicated, it's one of the few Marvel films I think that actually uses an opening text crawl. I actually think the text crawl was a little bit unnecessary, but whatever. Short version.
No, it was necessary. We needed that shit. And plus, I don't think it was for, I mean, like, yeah, it was for, exposition, but I think it was mostly because Star Wars did it. It's a nice aesthetic for our grand, darker Marvel film. I think that's one of the main reasons they did it.
It turns out there's these extremely powerful beings called the Celestials, and they have sent down other powerful beings, less powerful, called the Eternals to
less power. Hold on. Oh, wait. He said Celestial. I thought he was talking about the other. Okay, never mind. Mr. DJ Fly High, $5 super chat, Sneakerello. We were sneaker kangs and shit. Thank you, Mr. DJ.
To planets such as Earth. The Eternals have been here for many thousands of years, and their job is to stop these creatures called the Deviants. Deviants are really dangerous. They want to kill humans and other forms of life, and so the Eternals have to stop them. Now, the Eternals are pretty powerful beings. They each have a distinct personality with a distinct set.
Powerful? You mean like, I keep forgetting dude's name, the Pakistani actor guy. I'm gonna just call him Stuber because it was the name of that movie he was in. Stuber. He does this finger blast thing. It's not impressive, and he barely does anything in the film, like power wise. So, they're very powerful. There's only one that's like truly, like really powerful that you notice in the movie. Well, two people. It's the Asian chick, Cersei, and the I'm totally not a Marvel Superman character. Those are the only two, because she can turn fucking shit into like shit from nature. That's pretty powerful. And like I said, and then the other guy, he's basically Superman. So
of abilities, and during the course of this movie, they discover a new and unanticipated threat that they have to deal with. That's all I'm going to say about the plot for now. Now, you might be asking, wait a second, if these Eternals were here the entire time, why didn't they help us stop Thanos, or why didn't they participate in the Battle of New York? Well, the movie has an answer for that. It's because they were only here to stop deviants, and they were asked to not do anything else.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
Well, I guess that answers all of my questions. I have absolutely no follow-ups of any kind. Okay, putting that...
I want to say that's sarcasm, but it's like a huge thing. I don't understand how you could even like this movie after that. I don't understand how you could even enjoy it after, or be on board with these heroes after that. We were instructed not to. That's why we didn't. Normally heroes get involved in threats no matter what the situation, no matter what they're told, because they want to help people and save people. That bullshit, we had to follow orders. Like, how are you gonna get on board with that? You know what that makes me think of? I don't even have to say it. It's an N-word. I don't want to say it. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Loyal TF fan, $4.99 super chat. To Queen, hope you're well. Also, his energy is peak sheltered adult, like I haven't worked a 9-to-5 job, and the most hardship is a fight on Twitter. Oh, don't be so mean to him. We don't need to go there yet. But anyway, like the whole we were just following orders bullshit. I mean, it works because they're robots, but then the movie wants to have it both ways where, oh, they're robots, but they also go against their programming and have feelings and have free will and all this other shit. And, oh, we are heroes. Like, no, you're not. You're fucking not. You're basically like Barbie dolls. Because that's how most of y'all act sometimes. Like fucking Barbie dolls. Like you have no personality. You're blank. I wish they had just gone with the robot thing. Or maybe just aliens. Like, because like they try to have this morally gray plot, but it just doesn't work. Just because you pick and choose when the characters do certain shit does not suddenly make the movie a gray area. It just it's just inconsistent. There's a difference between inconsistency and like, oh well, this is like there's a push and pull in the main character's conscience. There's a difference between these two things, and there was no push and pull because like they were just all over the place. There's one line of dialogue where Stuber they were having a discussion by campfire or whatever the fuck. They were sitting around talking about, we gotta help the Earth, and exactly a few seconds later, after saying, oh, we gotta help the Earth, we can't just let we're dying, he comes out his mouth with, but we can't interfere with like the emergence of a celestial. We have no right to do that. Like, okay, what? Like you were just saying how much you love this fucking planet. You've made your living here, made movies, and you seem like a very spirited guy. You got a good relationship with your friendly middle-aged manservant guy. What's the problem? What? There's no ethical push and pull. It's just like 1 minute I'm saying this, and then the next minute I'm saying that because that's what the script says I have to do. Al Malone, $5 super chat. So when Thanos was going to kill half of everyone, not just humans, the Eternals still didn't care. No. Despite the fact that everybody needed to be accounted for on Earth. Everyone needed to be alive. Every living thing needed to be alive in order for the Celestial to absorb their energy so there could be an emergence. Despite that, they still didn't step in. Like, there was not even any manipulation between their boss and them and say, oh, okay, y'all can step in this one time. Because this is a threat beyond blah, 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 blah. And if you don't stop them, they might get to us. Blah, blah, blah. There could have been some kind of manipulation going on, but there wasn't! And the fact that they're robots makes it even worse because he could have just programmed them to do whatever the fuck he wanted. It doesn't make any sense. I know I'm babbling. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. And it's only like 1:53 seconds, but you know, whatever.
Give that, because whenever you want to introduce characters that have kind of been here the whole time, you have to have some explanation for why they didn't help out with the previous Marvel stuff. Mm-hmm. I actually really like this movie, and I'm going to tell you a few reasons why. First, the cast. The cast member.
But that explanation that they gave, it's not an explanation. It's kind of like, it's when you trail off and just wave something off because you don't want to fucking explain yourself. And you're caught, and you're just caught, and it's caught someplace, and you just don't know how to come up with the words. Like, they just waved it off, basically.
Are all really talented, and they have great chemistry with each other, which is not always.
What? Hang on, what? Say that again?
Previous Marvel stuff. I actually really like this movie, and I'm going to tell you a few reasons why. First, the cast. The cast members are all really talented, and they have great chemistry with each other.
Okay, talented, whatever, that's debatable. Some of these actors I have seen in other shit, and they are talented. Okay, but chemistry? Hell no! Especially between John Madden and Cersei. That sex scene they had? Oh, God. Oh, God, it was terrible. It's like watching two rocks... Excuse me. It's like watching two rocks rub up against each other. It was terrible. It wasn't buying their romance. Wasn't buying that shit. And that's because you have really good actors, excuse me, say funny shit with other good actors doesn't suddenly mean they have chemistry. It's like when it's like when a casting director puts two hot people together in the same room, and we're automatically supposed to think, oh, they have such great chemistry because they're so hot and standing next to each other. It's like, no. Just because these actors are good and standing next to each other and cracking jokes does not mean they have chemistry. It's kind of like, I just saw the first 2 episodes of Cowboy Bebop. And if you, like, there should be a fucking, compilation video of all the awkward fucking laughing in that fucking series. I already know there's more. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I already know there's 15 more minutes of just awkward laughing because they don't have any fucking real chemistry with each other. But anyway.
Which is not always a given with a movie like this. I really like how they bounce off each other, and in particular, their abilities are pretty cool. The movie does take shortcuts by necessity. This movie's 2.5 hours long, but even in that time, it has so much it needs to do. It needs to introduce each of the 10
The movie needs to take shortcuts. Already you losing me, bro. Naturally, a movie of this size needs to take shortcuts. Wait a minute. What? Do you hear yourself? It's a 2-hour and 20-something minute movie, and that they need to take shortcuts? Does that make any sense? You got 2.5 hours. It should be no shortcuts. Let me rewind it and make sure I heard that right.
Off each other, and in particular, their abilities are pretty cool. The movie does take shortcuts by necessity. This movie's 2.5 hours long, but even in that time, it has so much it needs to do. It needs.
But see, that's the thing. That's where Marvel fucked up, because they had no plan past Endgame. They just threw shit at a wall and see if it stuck. They should have been hyping up the Eternals from Infinity War, in my opinion. They should have been hyping them up since then, since the first Infinity War movie. Like, suddenly, you just, different people, and you see different Eternals coming out of the woodwork and getting involved in, like, very subtle ways. You're introduced to these characters very subtly. And then suddenly they're like, oh, we'll help. And there just should have been some kind of build-up, and it just wasn't. This is a whole universe. It's the whole universe. Whether you like to believe it or not, some people, there's actually some people who fucking say, well, this is separate from the this is actually a fucking review. That's, oh god, that I watch. I always scout my videos before putting them on the stream, And there's one that's so fucking inconsistent. Dear God, like, I don't want to get into it. Let's just get back to it. Like, shortcuts, you got 2.5 hours? Nah. And plus, is the part of a whole extended universe? No. There's no excuse for this movie being as hollow as it is. There's no excuse.
To introduce each of the 10 Eternals, tell you a little bit about them, their backstory, maybe even give them a little character arc. It needs to introduce their abilities. Then it needs to set up this whole universe with Celestials, and then whatever the main conflict is, which again I'm not going to get into. It's a lot to do in one movie, and I think the movie basically.
But he's already making excuses. Like, you shouldn't have to make excuses for a movie that's actually good. Ain't no fucking excuse.
He handles it pretty well, but. Again, it paints in broad brushstrokes. So, like, as an example, you see 2 characters flirting, and then basically that's kind of a sign that they're in love with each other, or they have this big love story. That kind of thing. These kinds of shortcuts are taken. I didn't mind it for this movie. Marvel films in general.
No! No, they needed to elaborate. This is so, like, we're talking about beings that have been alive for 7,000 years, and they just kind of like yada yada shit. We try to improve their life, but we indirectly were involved in Nagasaki or some shit. Like, hold on, and then you got 10 characters who you have to kind of follow around to soak up all this world building, and they yada yada like some of the most interesting shit. Like, Nagasaki, the black dude indirectly was involved in that. Just have him sit in the middle of some rubble and cry with Salma Hayek. I'm sure that covers everything. It doesn't. That doesn't show me the impact of what happened. No. I think some of these niggas needed their own individual film. That's just my opinion. If you want to start a whole new phase 4, maybe and bring in a whole new Avengers, I'm cool with that. But give them their own movies first. This is like so much. They've been alive for 7,000 years. Jesus. I mean, Captain America was only what? He was only like 100 years old, and he had like 3 or 4 fucking movies. Like, come on, hello. Oh, snakes. Yeah, but it was diverse though. So win. Insult to the human race. I wholeheartedly disagree that characters flirting equals love. Have a history and some form of relationship, sure, but not necessarily love. Yeah, because because they could have some kind of like, you know, some kind of friends with benefits relationship. And plus, wasn't there a whole thing? They were in love. There was a flirtation. They were in love, got married, then got divorced. That's a whole fucking like expansive relationship. And they like said they yada yada that. We just assume that they had some kind of we just have to assume they had some kind of great love from like the two actors, you know, sizzling, glistening on-screen chemistry, which they did not have. Like, what the fuck? Fine, fictional men. This is basically The Last of Us 2 of movies. Oh, God. Anyway. Oh, and don't get me started on the guy who mentally enslaved a whole fucking village after breaking up with the Eternals. Like, don't need any history on that. Like, there's so much. This a lot of this is some big shit. Some big shit. And it's just like yada yada yada. Yeah, I enslaved the whole town. Yeah. Yeah, me and Cersei were married for like a couple thousand years. I hate this movie. Anyway.
Often paint with broad brushstrokes, and I think this movie's no different. If you're used to that kind of storytelling, I think you'll be right at home with Eternals. As a bonus, this is also one of the most...
If you're used to crappy storytelling, you will love the Eternals.
most diverse casts for a blockbuster film possibly ever. You have
no. Ever? Get the fuck out of here. I've seen more diverse
all
films.
Different. One of the most...
Like, what pisses me off is that there are so many Fast and Furious films. People will fucking shit on those. And just shit on it. But when it comes time to start showering with praise about diversity and shit, they won't say anything. You got Latinos, you got like Afro-Latinos, white people. Vin Diesel is biracial. I don't understand what the fuck his sister Mia was, but in real life, that actress I think is Portuguese. You got like Asians, British people, like everybody is in the Fast and Furious franchise. But I don't hear fucking shit about how fucking diverse those movies are. This is the most diverse movie we've had ever. Fast and Furious franchise, bitch. It's right there. And it has better storytelling and world building than Eternals. I'm willing to die on that fucking hill too. I don't give a fuck. They got the Fast and Furious franchise has better world building and writing and character chemistry than fucking Eternals. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. And it's got better diversity. Because at least the diversity in those movies makes sense. If they go to England, you got English people. You go to Japan, you just Japanese people. You go to Dubai, there's Dubanese people. Dubanese. Whatever the fuck. You go to LA, you got mostly Latinos. And whatever the fuck Dominic Toretto is. I still don't know what the fuck he is. They even, Like, there's even a scene from the latest Fast and Furious movie where Charlize Theron points out the fact that Dom has a mostly white brother. Like, she's literally like, who is this vanilla nigga? Like, I didn't know your family had a Nordic strain. Like, what the fuck? He's the whitest motherfucker in the movie. Anyway. Joe, Vinny, the Hyena, $5 super chat. But guys, Eternals is the first ever Disney movie with a diverse cast. Oh my god. Momo Wood says, hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. ADT 116 family. Dominic Toretto. Mr. N, even the latest movie, yes. I'm willing to die on that hill. Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The Council of Bruh, listen, Jay, the Eternals is just jealous that they don't got family. We don't turn our back on family. Yeah, and then, you know, they're more, like, moral than the Eternals. Like, full stop. Like, they'll have all the money in the world. They've settled down. They have kids, but as soon as someone comes in and tells them, hey, you gotta save the world, they do it! Immediately! Like that! They don't give a fuck! They'll be settled down on some fucking island and somewhere, and they'll be like, y'all gotta come and save the world. Y'all gotta come do something. Otherwise you're gonna die, and people are gonna die. So what's up? You gonna fly a car in space? What you gonna do? And then they go out and they save the world. Ain't no fucking, well, we can't because we can't. Silly Rabbit, $5 super chat for the Fast and Furious comparison. Oh, thank you. Master Chuddy, $5 super chat. Remember, as kids from 1985 to 2010, we got diversity organically with without browbeating its audience over at Pepperidge Farms. Remembers? Yeah, I remember. That was the good old days. Yeah, Fast and the Furious franchise. Better than the Eternals. Fuck it. Any given Fast and the Furious movie. I don't care. When they're called on to go help somebody or do something, they fucking do it. Period. Like I said, they could have money. They could be billionaires with money in the bank. Don't owe anybody anything. And then some fucking motherfucker in a suit will walk up and be like, hey, you gotta come fly a car in space to save billions. You could die. Your kid could die. I don't know. It's very ragtag. We're not going to give you any kind of, like, protective gear. We're not going to help you. We're barely going to help you in any way. You got a fucking Nissan and a stick. Do something. And then they go do it. I've always liked that franchise. I don't think it's exactly underrated as much as it is underappreciated. Underappreciated is better. Anyway, let's get back to this fuck. Am I ranting about Fast and Furious right now? Yes, I am. But let's get back to this.
That kind of storytelling, I think you'll be right at home with Eternals. As a bonus, this is also one of the most diverse casts for a blockbuster film.
Bullshit.
Possibly ever. You have...
Like, no. Not ever. Like, how can you say that? This is the most diverse cast we've had ever. Ever. Hold on, let me pull up a picture of Fast and the Furious right now. Like, just any old fucking set photo. Or, like, not set photo, like a promotional still. Yeah, I'm still on my bullshit. Because I can't believe I'm fucking hearing this shit. Just don't want you guys to see my history, so I gotta blank it for a minute. Oh. Let's see. But if you line up all the characters from over the years, there's like so many races, so many different races and cultures. Like, and it's like I said, like someone said in the chat, like the shit's organic. It's been organic since the beginning. There is no, oh, can we work together? You're black and I'm white, and I just don't know. Ugh. So I can't even find a concrete picture. Like, it's like to really show what I'm talking about. Like, every picture has, like, oh, we got a black guy, we got an Asian guy, we got this guy, we got this guy, but, like, I want, like, a bigger picture. But, whatever, you get my fucking point. You get my fucking point. It's not the most fucking diverse movie ever. Fuck out of here, man.
All different ethnicities and people of different abilities and sizes and shapes represented here. And I think,
yeah, that doesn't make sense. The fact they got a fat guy, technically two fat guys, a child, a deaf bitch, doesn't make any sense. Why would you give people weaknesses? And they're robots, so the fat guys don't have the ability to lose weight. Unless they do, I don't know. But from what we can see, they've been alive for 7,000 fucking years, and they haven't lost 1 fucking pound. So I'm guessing they can't. Mr. DJ Fly High, $5 super chat. Man says Eternals cast most diverse ever, yet forgets Black Panther. 2009, but technically it's not. Black Panther isn't a diverse cast technically because it's just all black people and 1 white guy. When people say like diverse, they mean like all kinds of fucking people. That's what diverse means. I mean, having just all black people is not diverse. Having all of one race isn't diverse technically. Horror Claws, $5 super chat. Even the Suicide Squad chose to face almost certain death rather than leave a town full of innocent people to be massacred. True. Excuse me. Immelman, I think that says Immelman Ace. JLB's entire search history is just Photoshop Henry Cavill nudes. No. No, no.
I think it's awesome. Now, it is important to note that these are not human characters. They are technically Eternals that look...
Yeah. Which kind of puts the whole diversity thing null and void because they're not even human.
Like people of these different abilities and races. And I don't think the movie really reckons with that gulf, unfortunately. So it is a missed opportunity there. But just from a pure casting perspective, it's nice to see all these different faces on screen. I also love that this movie...
Even though some of their presence in the film doesn't make sense.
Does something very different than other Marvel films just in terms of its vast time scale. Do you remember how in Transformers, like last night or whatever, you found out that Transformers...
This is the movie you want to... Yeah, let me talk about how good this terrible movie is by referencing another even worse film.
Were responsible for all these events throughout human history, like the Underground Railroad or World War II and fighting Nazis and stuff like that.
Oh my god, wait a minute. I don't remember that. The Transformers were involved with the fucking Underground Railroad. Now I gotta rewatch it. I don't remember that. I don't remember that! The Nazi thing, I knew that was happening because it was in the trailer. But the fucking Underground Railroad? I gotta rewatch that because I could, Michael Bay butchered that shit.
That's kind of what the Eternals does for the Marvel Universe. It's like these characters were involved in many developments in human civilization, and it's a little bit silly, but it's also kind of interesting to think about. Like all these events in human history happened in the way they did, and there's many questions about why things played out the way they did.
It's
and
a little
Eternals
bit silly. I love this movie, by the way. I don't understand why people don't like it. For one thing, that's actually the least silly part of the film. I don't mind that. I don't mind them. Oh, we stepped in and we kind of helped them out. What's silly is that they kept going back and forth with the shit. Well, we can't get involved with any human affairs. But then that's exactly what the fuck they did throughout the entire fucking movie. Oh, like the black dude was like, "Oh, let me build him what did he say? He was gonna build him some shit, like a plow or something." They crash landed on some kind of like native land, and they wanted to build some shit, and the black guy was like, well, "Why didn't I give him a plow?" And I'm like, aren't y'all supposed to not be involving yourselves with these people and not helping them evolve because that would have crippled them as a society? You know what? Fuck it. Evil Hero Diamond Cat, $5 super chat. I've been waiting for the next part of Gotham High for 11 years. It hasn't been that long. I just fucking released the 4th one. Yeah, that's been, a month? That was a month ago? Hold on, how long ago was that? Hold on, let me look. I'm pretty sure that was a month ago. Oh shit, it was 2 months ago. Is my face red? Anyway. So it was 2 months ago, but still, it's a lot. Like, this is a much shorter time frame than the other ones. Wolfsbane, $4.99 super chat. F. Mary Kill, Idris Elba, Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan. And Idris and Denzel are in their prime in this scenario. For fun, All or Nothing. Henry Cavill. I'd fuck, marry, and kill Henry Cavill. I wouldn't. Denzel Washington, he feels like more of a parent than anything. I don't know. I don't get frothy over him because he just, like, he feels like your fucking uncle or your dad or something. I don't know. That'd be weird. That'd be weird as hell. I'm not even gonna lie, because he reminds me of my mom a little bit. So, because they're both from the East Coast, and they both kind of have the same vibe about them. So yeah, that'd be weird. No, I'm not touching that. Idris Elba, he's all right. I don't know what it is. Like, he's like, not exactly. I mean, it might be his age. I don't know. Like, and Michael B. Jordan, he reminds me of too many kids I went to high school with. He's got that round the way boy look. Like, yeah, he's that boy from school. Like, and he always looks like that. I've never taken him seriously as a grown ass man, and I still won't. I don't know why. Now, if you would have thrown in, what's the guy's name? The guy who was in the Candyman movie, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, or the guy, oh my god, the guy from Black Panther, the guy who played the guy who played T'Challa's frenemy, that guy. Then yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'd definitely fuck, marry, or kill one of those guys. But Denzel, like, yeah, he's like a dad, bro. Nah, he's too much of he reminds you like a family figure. It's like asking me, oh, would you fuck Morgan Freeman even in his prime? Like, no. No. My life is a complex pastiche. 1999 super chat. Weird epiphany I had in the shower. Number 54, the Pokemon Company missed an opportunity when they called that one move Ice Fang instead of Frostbite. All right, I'm gonna let you in on a little thing. I don't get down with Pokemon, so I don't understand a thing you just said. But thank you for the super chats, and I appreciate it. Little King and Cavill we simp. Yes. Cyber Hans no Machi. You talking the old or new Candyman? The new one. The guy who's playing the new Morpheus. That's the guy I'm talking about. The guy who was that really bad version of Dr. Manhattan. That guy. He's much better looking when he's not usurping someone else's character. So, don't judge. Loyal TF fan, J Longbone is complex with a simple center idea, her love for Henry Cavill. All right. Let's get back to this.
He tries to kind of answer those questions by saying, aha, did you know that the Eternal characters were involved in that? Like, there's a character in the movie named Icarus who's apparently responsible for the Greek myth of Icarus, stuff like that. And I just think it's a fun mental exercise. Kind of cheesy, but if you enjoy that kind of thing, this is kind of like alternate history,
that could have been like a nice little joke, but they didn't take any advantage of this
fiction type of reflection, then I actually thought it was pretty interesting. This movie does make you kind of reflect on, the vast sum of human experience in a way that other Marvel films don't. On that note, let's talk about Marvel film connections and how this movie plugs into the MCU, which is, it doesn't really. I mean, it introduces concepts that I'm sure will...
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does. They mentioned, even in the trailer, they mentioned Captain America. They mentioned, oh, why didn't you help out with Thanos? And, yeah, it's still connected. It is connected. I can't stand it when people say it's not connected. It is fucking connected. Just because they yada yada the Thanos thing does not mean it's not connected. Stop it. You stop that. It's a confirmed that they were around when the Thanos thing happened, so it is connected. Like, stop it. Fine fictional men. Oh shit. Marvel Phase 4 has an identity crisis. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Doesn't know what the fuck it is. You think, oh, we're gonna get deeper themes and more darker storytelling in Phase 4, more mature, but it's the same old bullshit. But like they kind of, it's that armchair doomer bullshit that you see on Twitter or Reddit that they just put in these films. It's like, oh, what if Bucky apologized for his white privilege? Like, no, that's horrifying. No, that's terrible. The fact that he has to apologize for his white privilege, knowing damn well he was held captive and brainwashed by Hydra for most of his fucking life. The fact that he even has to do that is fucking ridiculous, and it's kind of offensive, and it kind of pisses me off. Yeah, we'll get to that. That review is still being made, by the way. But you know, once again, I'm taking a different trajectory with my videos. I'm still coming out with videos, but that's going to be like pushed back a little bit because the thing is, like, I want to make videos that I want to make in the moment. Like, if I just keep pushing myself to make deadlines with certain videos, well, people are asking for this, you got to get this one out. I put myself under like unnecessary pressure, and then I just end up feeling wiped out on it, and I'm like, oh, passion isn't there anymore. But don't worry, I still got some shit coming out. Especially some shit I promised that I would come out with. You know nothing, John Snowden, $4.99 super chat. So interesting comic stuff. Jack Kirby never really wanted to include the Eternals to the rest of Marvel. It doesn't sync with Lee Ditko Kirby stuff. Eh. Superman 82, thank you, Jay. You are 100% right. I don't know what I'm gonna guess I was right about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier thing, the Bucky thing. I'm gonna go with that. But yes, I'm always right about everything. So generally, yes, I accept. That was a joke, by the way. Alrighty, let's get.
Will be reused in the MCU. But there are very few Marvel connections other than that reference to Thanos I made earlier. I mean,
there are very few, which means, oh, none of the other characters were in it, so there's no connections. It's like saying the first Thor movie had no connections to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It did. It's because you don't see any of the other characters, or because it's based on one particular character specifically, does not mean it's not connected. Like, what the fuck I can't, stop saying that!
I mean, I would say that this movie is pretty standalone, and that to me is actually a bonus. I think we have tons of MCU.
No, it isn't. This is Phase 4, which means it's connected to the other 3 phases. What the fuck? Stop fucking saying that. And not to mention they reference Captain America. I think they said it was taken out of the film, but it was in the trailer, and you can't unring that bell. So, and plus, it's just common sense. Of course, it's connected to the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's part of Phase 4! Shit!
To each other, and it's always fun to see movies like this that kind of are their own thing and don't really connect too much with everything else that's happening. Finally, I really love the action scenes in this film. Now, I will say it took me a while to get into it. When you are first introduced to the Eternals, they're all kind of doing their own thing, using their abilities, and the visual effects to me didn't look super great, didn't look super convincing. And
you just said they were. It took me a while to force myself into liking this garbage. Guardian Fortress 9.99 super chat. As someone who works at the theater, most Eternals I clean up afterwards are dead silent or disappointed. A teen girl said after the end credit scene, that was a slug. It made me lol. It's true though. It's a fucking slug. In every sense of the word. It's slow, greasy, and ugly.
Bonus. I think we have tons of MCU stuff that connects with each other, and it's always fun to see movies like this that kind of are their own thing and don't...
See, you know, people think this is its own thing because it's not a fucking sequel. That's what it is. That's what it is, because it's not a sequel. And because none of the other Avengers show up. That's the only reason. But the story is still connected to the fucking MCU. Because they confirmed that the Thanos thing affected the emergence. Oh! God damn it!
Don't really connect too much with everything else that's happening. Finally, I really love the action scenes in this film. Now, I will say it took me a while to get into it. When you are first introduced to the Eternals, they're all kind of doing their own thing, using their abilities, and the visual...
The action scenes were, like, commonplace and lame, in my opinion. Like, whatever.
effects to me didn't look super great.
There were better action scenes in the fucking Captain America films, and those were like, those were just like guys punching and kicking and shit.
It didn't look super convincing, and I was just confused. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, who are these people? Why are they acting in the way they're doing? Like, what are...
You see what I'm saying? People always give themselves away. Oh, I really love this movie. I think it's underrated. People are giving it an unfair shake. And then in the same fucking video, they list every goddamn problem that everyone has with it. Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's confusing. It took me so long to get into this. I just couldn't get into it. At the end of the video, he's going to say he hates the shit. I feel like by the end of the video, he's going to come back and go, I really hated this movie. I know I started out saying it was underrated, but no, I hate this shit. It's bad.
Even their powers. And so it did take me a while to understand what was actually going on, but that's cleared up pretty quickly. And there end up being like one or two big action scenes in the movie where like everyone's using their abilities differently that I thought were just completely exhilarating. I really appreciated seeing...
Oh yeah, you mean Stuber with his finger pistols, his power fingers, his spirit fingers, that bullshit. Exhilarating? That was not exhilarating. And I still don't know what Sprite did. I mean, dude, one of the dudes, the mind controller, like, the only thing that really happens is people walk in unison and their eyes glow because they're trying to simulate mind control. Not exhilarating. Like, yeah. And I think the black dude, he made machinery. Okay, fine. Cersei, she turns things into things in nature, like flowers. This is like, I said this before. I said this on Nerdrotic's stream, his podcast, that it's like Whole Foods, like the Avengers at Whole Foods. Like Whole Foods Avengers, like just a bunch of hippie shit. It's like a tone, like it feels like it's trying to correct like the masculinity and all the masculinity and all like the pomposity, if that's even a fucking word, the pomp and circumstance, of previous MCU superhero films. Like we're doing it darker and more low key now. It's like soy milk. Like you got the Avengers milk and it's rich and it's good with your cereal and it's nutritious, and then you got fucking soy milk. It makes your tits bigger, makes you more irrational emotionally. It has estrogen. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that was a joke, but let's move on. But yeah, basically, yeah, it's like Diet Avengers. It's lame.
Seeing these characters use their powers in different ways that I thought were really creative. And it actually honestly reminded me of the first time I saw Joss Whedon's The Avengers and seeing how like, oh, these powers can combine to do something really cool in a way that each character individually wouldn't be able.
Your powers combine. I am Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to 0. Jellyfish Bliss, soy milk does that? Well, it depends. Slate Rock, we at Disney have decided to make Marvel's Soyville, Soy Avengers, Soy Eternals, Captain Soy America, oh god, Captain Cringe. Anyway.
Able to achieve. My favorite character in the movie was Makari, who is played by Lauren Ridloff.
Even though she does nothing, she does fucking nothing. She just, you see her do, like, I can already tell, like, people like this dude, they see her do deaf shit, and then they decide that they love her. And that's their deciding, that's their decision making on it, whether or not they like them. Oh my god, she's fucking deaf, even though it's a detriment to the team. Yay!
She's kind of the super fast character, like Quicksilver or the Flash or Superman, and I just loved.
No. She's her speed is kind of it's average, especially after you've seen the Flash basically turn back fucking time in the Snyder cut, and then you've seen Quicksilver do what he did in Days of Future Past, I think it was. Yeah. What she does is not impressive, like, at all. It's like, oh, she just moves real fast. You compare that to what the Flash and Quicksilver have done in their movies, like, in their first movies, by the way. I mean, this is her first movie too, but it's like, you alright? You alright, girl.
How quickly she moved and how her visual effects were conceived and executed. It just was really breathtaking to me. And I also just think she's a wonderful actress. So anyway, seeing the other Eternals do their thing, I just thought was great. All right, let's talk really cool in a way that each character individually wouldn't be able to achieve. My favorite character in the movie was Makari, who is played by Lauren Ridloff. She's kind of the super fast character, like Quicksilver or the Flash or Superman. And I just loved how quickly she moved and how her visual...
I just love how quickly she moved. That's it. That's basically it. Whatever.
Effects were conceived and executed. It just was really breathtaking to me. And I also just think she's a wonderful actress. So anyway, seeing the other Eternals do their thing, I just thought was great. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room for...
I'm shocked he didn't mention how deaf she was.
For Eternals, and that is the Rotten Tomato score. Apparently, this is one of the worst...
And like I said this on Nerdrotic stream as well. That her disability does not help. Especially when these motherfuckers are speedsters and they fly everywhere. You got motherfuckers who'll be like 40 miles away because they got thrown by an enemy. And then she'll have to sign something and they can't fucking see her. And then she can't hear them say shit because they're all the way over there. Like, it doesn't work. It's pain.
Worst rated movies in the MCU by film critics, and yes. I just want to reflect.
Problem, it is. I'll admit, like, Captain Marvel was more watchable than this film. I'm just gonna say it. It's not good either, but it was more watchable than this. At least Sam Jackson was in it.
On why that might be. I do want to start by saying I don't think anything weird is happening with the film critic Rotten Tomato scores. I don't think film critics are rating this movie differently because of the cast or because of stuff that Kevin Feige has said or whatever. This movie was review bombed on IMDb by online trolls, but trolls got a troll, so like I'm putting that aside. I think people just...
I don't believe anyone's doing anything, but it was review bombed on this other website.
Just didn't like this movie, and there's a few reasons I can speculate on for that. You know, I've read a bunch of the reviews.
You mean the reasons you fucking listened to your own video? Some of the shit was silly. Some of the effects were not nice to look at. Took me a while to get into it. The fuck else did he say? How they cut corners here and there, despite the fact that they had 2.5 hours to tell a whole fucking story. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why People like it. Al Malone, $5 super chat. The Eternals are based on video game, bad guy, NPC logic. Tony, these robots are super fast and strong, but don't worry, they're also deaf for some reason.
Reviews, and here are some of my thoughts on why this movie didn't resonate with a lot of critics. First of all, as I mentioned, this
here we go. What's he gonna say? What you got to say, bruh?
movie does try to do a lot. It's a 2.5 hour long runtime, but even then, it still doesn't necessarily feel like enough because you're introducing these 10 Eternal characters.
And plus, the thumbnail says, "Don't believe the haters," or "Don't believe haters." So it's like, and it could be clickbait, but like, why would you do that? Why would you already put like this cloud over your video? That, oh, fuck the haters, man. Like, no. But if you understand, like, if you claim to give, like, if you're gonna give a logical reason for why people did not respond to this film, like, why would you do that? Why would you be combative? Because if I'm gonna be combative in the thumbnail, I'm gonna be combative in the video. You can be fucking sure of that. People who like this movie are fucking idiots, and then I will say the exact same thing in the video. And I will give my reasons why. Now, it hasn't exactly happened yet, but who knows? Oh, come on.
What their powers are, what their relationships are, plus the main conflict, plus this concept of celestials and deviants, like all this stuff you're trying to get across to the audience. And
yes, they should have built it up earlier in phase 3, but they didn't because they weren't fucking thinking about this shit. And they want to hurry up and get content out now. They're doing the same thing they did with the Star Wars sequels. Let's hurry. No world building. We're not going to take it slow and do like little separate stories and build up other bigger stories and other franchises we really wanted, stories we really want to tell. We're just gonna like throw, oh yeah, more sequels. This character's related to this character. Like, you know, they just throw the shit at you because they want the big money now. They don't want to take they don't want to take any risks. And let's be real, this movie, people like to say that this movie was a risk for MCU. I think a couple people said that, but it wasn't. It's an all-star fucking cast. Diverse. So they got that internal, what do you call it? They can pass the buck on to the audience. Like, oh, they didn't like it because there were too much gay in it. Now I'll admit, like, the relationships don't make any sense because they're robots. But it's not because of the gay shit specifically. It's because they shouldn't be able to love or have relationships at all. They're fucking robots. Why would you give them free will and the ability to love? I don't know. They're like Marvel. They're getting dumber. I don't know what's going on. Guardian Fortress $4.99 super chat. People loved Guardians of the Galaxy, remember? So it's a new team or we don't know them. Criticism doesn't work. Yeah, it's definitely some kind of new team. Ugh. Like, whatever they're doing with Star Wars, they're trying to, like, that shit's bleeding in to Marvel now. And it's, like, you can definitely tell. Because Marvel, like, on phase 3, like, well, the whole fucking franchise, the whole MCU, they did not do the racial thing. They did not do the I mean, apart from a couple films. But they didn't do the virtue signaling thing. They did not do the woke shit. They just wanted to tell fun stories and entertain people. And then Captain Marvel and Black Panther came along. And then since then, it's just been like, oh, let's just virtue signal and let's just ruin everything. Let's just ruin fucking everything that we built.
And I can understand why some people might feel like it didn't do a good enough job. It didn't have enough room to breathe. Imagine if you were trying to make like the Avengers, but you didn't have time to introduce each character with their own individual movie, right?
No, it's not that. We didn't have time. They didn't get. They didn't want to have the time because they wanted to hurry up and rush some bullshit out. That's what it was. They could have built it up. They could have built. They weren't thinking about it in Phase 3, and they just wanted to put some shit out right now. That's what it was. They had no fucking plans when Endgame came along. They had no plans for Phase 4. They're just putting shit out. Most of the Phase 4 shit is involving like characters we've already seen anyway. So, Kamikaze $5 super chat. There actually is no free will according to Kang, so they screwed that up too. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I haven't really seen Loki. I've seen reviews. I've seen people talk about it. Some trusted sources. But yeah, that sounds awful. Ugh. A. Collins, people forget Hawkeye and Black Widow didn't have their own movies before Avengers 1. Yeah. They just introduced their asses. Because let's be real, like, who cares? I mean, after Endgame, I cared about Hawkeye, which, that actually works. Hold on. That actually worked for me. Because Hawkeye, he had his own issues that were a result of Infinity War. And then him to have his own movie or his own franchise or whatever after the fact. That would have worked. I would have been fine with that. And we get a sense of him as a character through the other characters and through the shit he goes through with the Avengers films. And then, like, after Endgame, it's like, okay, now he has to have his own thing. Because we want to get more into this character. Insult to the human race, $5 super chat. Besides, we've already seen the result of Avengers, but couldn't introduce everybody. Justice League, and look how well that turned out. Yeah, you think Marvel would learn from that, but then again, the DCEU didn't really. They wanted to do the thing where they introduce everybody one by one, but then they were like, "Fuck it, Batman versus Superman." They were like, "Fuck it," and now we got and just fuck it, the Justice League. I think the Justice League came out before Aquaman, didn't it? Yeah, I think it did. Yep. Yeah, they wanted to rush the shit out because they wanted to just compete with Marvel, which was at the time was a fucking mistake.
Imagine if it was like just, hey, these are the Avengers and we're kind of introducing each of their backstories and their powers and so on. You might feel this movie is overstuffed and rushed and bloated and not particularly effective. And so I think that's a big part of the reason why people are.
But why don't you think that? I feel like you're projecting. I mean, yeah, like he's right. Most people fucking feel it, who don't like the movie feel that way. But why don't you feel that way? I feel like, okay, you understand where they're coming from, but why, like, you don't see that shit? You don't see these problems either? I mean, come on.
Are not liking this movie. Another thing I've seen people talk about are the visual effects, and I can totally understand why the visual effects didn't work for some people. They do look occasionally quite cheesy. It is a very distinct aesthetic that is a little bit different than
like flouncy. You know how they like how effects are like it slowly transforms from CGI puppet to human character. You could just, like, it's so utterly clumsy. It's not seamless at all. You can tell when where the puppet begins and the human ends, because the CGI puppets are flouncy. And what I mean by that is, like, they're bouncy and they're what do you call it? They're too flippy. They're too oh god, what's the word I want to use? They're jello-y. Yeah, you know, that's what I want to say. Jello-y. They're always like jiggling. Like when you see Icarus flying sometimes, it's like he's just like he's just moving all over the place. Like that's not how a human works. Humans aren't made out of fucking meringue. They're not made out of jello. What is that? That's what I'm talking about. Like Superman flying in The DCEU movies looks way better than that. How did they get it right and you fucked it up in Phase 4? Like, you've got 10 years of shit to learn from. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Other Marvel films, but more importantly, the movie hugely relies on the visual effects. So if the visual effects don't work for you, or if you don't think they look good, then you're not going to have a good time with the movie. So I totally understand why.
Like, if it's 2.5 hours of a fucking eyesore, like, yeah, that's what happens when you hire a director who is not good with this fucking genre, and then you team them up with someone with a special effects artist who is familiar with the genre. Like, that shit, it clashes. Oh, the drunk Ronin jiggling. Yeah, that's what I meant. But yeah, but Jello-y is more brought my point home. Like, I think it made more sense at the time. Jiggly. My life is a complex pastiche. $9.99 super chat. There's a sort of irony that a movie called The Eternals has the shortest shelf life of the MCU so far. Yes, that is pretty brilliantly sad. It's like it's so miraculously depressing. ADT 116. This movie seems like if Marvel was attempting the dark tone of a Snyder DCEU film and went about as well as you'd expect. Yeah. And, like, why would you try to compete with DCEU? They didn't do that well. They didn't do that well. So, I don't know. But, like, yeah, they did want to mature everything. And it's like, save it. Don't do that. You were doing fine. Why are you fucking with it?
Why, if you don't think the visuals are good, you're not enjoying Eternals the movie. The final thing I'll say is that for me...
So basically, it's just mostly visuals. Like, if you don't like the visuals, you're gonna hate this shit. So yeah, see, that's not a good sign. That's a bad sign. Very bad, because there's some movies with shit visuals that I fucking enjoy immensely. The Spawn film, the R-rated version, not that whack-ass PG-13 version. The Spawn film has shitty special effects. Some of the worst special effects. Malbolgia looks like a fucking turd with bunny ears. It's terrible. It's terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible, the special effects. But I like watching the movie. Like, it's enjoyable. I get into it. Michael Jai White is the GOAT. I like the movie. And there's a couple other ones with really shitty special, like Space Jam is another one. It's not. There's some times where it's like it's a little off. I'm not gonna say it's shitty, but there's sometimes where it's off. Some parts didn't age well, but yeah, there's like when the script overpowers and like everything else about the film overpowers how it looks. When you can appreciate the film despite how it looks, that's a good sign. But if you are more focused on how the fucking movie looks and you're basing your quality or basing your enjoyment on the looks of the film and that's it, that's not a good sign. Like if that destroys your enjoyment of the film, that's bad. That's very bad.
Many years, Marvel has been trying to combine indie film sensibility with big budget blockbuster spectacle, and we've seen them do this.
You just now noticing that? They've hired a fucking indie director. They did the same thing with Black Panther and Captain Marvel. I think Captain Marvel had like an indie director man and wife team. Like a feminist and her cuck husband, I think. Hang on. Captain Marvel director. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I think this is them. I think. Captain Marvel director says script was constantly changing. Oh, this is a shit article, like, for what I want. Okay, this is better. Captain Marvel, how a beloved filmmaking duo stayed true to their indie roots and made a blockbuster. Stop hiring these indie bastards! Oh, see, here we go right here. Like, from Kathy Yan to Chloe Zhao, Ryan Coogler to Adam Wingard, John Watts to Taika Waititi, big budget. Yeah, they've been hiring a lot of fucking indie directors. I think the only one who kind of works is Taika Waititi. I think I haven't heard good things about Thor Ragnarok. Even my mother didn't even like it, and she she loves the corny shit. She loves League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, just to put it in perspective. She loves that Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman. She loves that shit. But something about Thor Ragnarok rubbed her the wrong way. She did not like it. She didn't fucking like it. She loved the first Thor movie. I don't know how she feels about the second one. But yeah, Thor Ragnarok, she was like, fuck that one. And yeah, like I said, other than that, I haven't heard good things about the movie. But yeah, they are this is them, indie movie duo, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. Yeah, that's them. So I don't know what's up with that. I just don't get that. Why wouldn't you hire people who are experienced with action and sci-fi films? Why? The shit does and it's all the people who made the shittiest fucking movies. Like, why? Why would you do that? You keep making garbage. And it's not necessarily because they're shitty directors. It's because this is not their genre. They can't do this shit. I said this before, like I said on Nerdrotic Stream, that the director of Tatsi, this really small African film, that guy directed X-Men Origins Wolverine, and the guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, that wasn't his genre, and you could definitely tell. I think everyone did, because that movie was critically fucking panned by everybody. Winterfire, $2 super chat. It Chapter 2 was only 75 mil and has better CGI. Not always. That giant fucking statue that was chasing what was it Richie? Yeah, that was chasing Richie in the park. That was terrible. That was god awful fucking CGI. But yeah, they have much better effects in It Chapter in It Chapter 2 than it does in fucking Eternals, and that is sad. Except for that like I said, that big ass statue. That was terrible. King Bash, $4.99 super chat. We should have learned from Ryan Johnson that not every indie director can make a good film in a big blockbuster series. True. It's like they did. Like, why aren't y'all learning? Why? Oh, excuse me.
Hiring of all these different indie film directors and, giving them a massive budget to make a, Marvel film.
Like, you're putting these people who are used to doing smaller projects under so much pressure. Like, okay, like, yeah, no pressure, but like, we're trusting you to make us $1 billion fucking by the end of the year, when this, like a year after this movie comes out. We're expecting $1 billion in our bank in our bank account. No pressure. We're expecting you to get it pitch perfect, put asses in the seats, appeal to everybody, even though you're a fucking indie director and you don't appeal to everybody. That's why you're an indie director. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that, like, you don't appeal to everybody. That's why you're an indie director. But like, we want you to appeal to everybody anyway, and you got to make us $1 billion. With this one fucking movie. We want to make $1 billion on this movie by the end of the fucking year. So, like I said, no pressure. No pressure at all. So I kind of feel for him, but at the same time, it's like, wow, you could have just said no. You could have just said no. Zigzag, they want small directors because they're easy to control. Yeah, that's what I said. I've said that before. I don't remember when, but I have said that before because they're more malleable than like say you hire God forbid what's his name, Michael Bay. Oh yeah, you're not gonna like, oh, do it this way. Like, no, I want to do it this way. Fuck you. He's not gonna want to do what a fucking studio tells him to do, especially because he's a prick. It's just not gonna happen. Wank stain. Eternals broke new ground. I clapped at the sex scene. Oh, Krista, we want you to make $1 billion on this movie, and we already made the action scenes. Good luck. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's like hiring Michael Bay for a Marvel movie. They're not gonna let his ass do what he wants to do, and we all know what Michael Bay likes to do. But he's not. But if you start talking shit to him, he's just gonna walk off the project, they're just gonna lose money, because it's gonna set them back, and because they gotta hire another motherfucker to direct their movie, and they want to be as they want to appeal to everybody. They don't want to be polarizing, even though that's exactly what the fuck they are now. Polarizing is shit. I mean, but like they have the pull, they have the clout to make stupid decisions like Eternals, because you got fucking consumers who are just gonna go see any fucking Marvel movie, no matter what it is, and eat that shit up. Pay opening fucking night, no matter how bad it looks. They have a dedicated fan base, so it's just like they say they can do dumb shit like Eternals, and they can make polarizing movies, because then all they gotta do is say, well, if you don't like it, you're a fucking bigot. Like, why are you worried about it? Like, this stuff's sad. Nikki B, $4.99 super chat. Why do I feel like they might do an Avengers versus Eternals since they messed up with the Inhumans? You never know. Maybe. Ugh. I don't want to see that shit. I really don't. Zigzag. I would like to see Tyler Perry direct a Marvel film, but Disney would never let him do it. He probably would. He'd probably take him up on it. But I have a feeling, like, as much as I like Tyler Perry, he probably wouldn't want to listen to studios either. Because he is a very religious man. I mean, not too religious, but he's religious enough to where if they'll like say they want to reference Doctor Strange and like black magic and shit, he might not be too keen about that, because some Christians like do not fucking like referencing black magic or like the dark arts and shit. They don't like doing it. So who knows? But you know, or he could like lighten up a little bit and take that money and just do a Marvel movie. Fuck it. Who knows? Zigzag. Tyler Perry would be too Christian. Yeah. But he is black, and that's a point in his favor for Marvel. You know nothing, John Snowden, for $4.99 super chat. Yep, agreed on all these points. And look at this. And look at this Lucasfilm with KKK just driving Talon off. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I forgot Marvel drove off Edgar Wright. I forgot about that shit. That's another one. They probably thought he was gonna be easy to control, and then they fucked around and found out. And then he was like, "No, I'm not doing Ant-Man anymore. Fuck you." Just because he's an indie director. Well, I wouldn't even call him an indie director, because I don't know. He's an indie director he's an expensive indie director who's much more not mainstream. He's much more palatable for general audiences than say any of these other directors they've hired for Marvel. Because he's like Baby Driver. I mean, come on, like that movie was a hit when it came out. So I wouldn't really call him an indie director, but I think Marvel thought he was. and thought he'd be like, yeah, I'll do like generic crap. Yeah, whatever. I'll do generic garbage. Whatever you guys say. And then they fucked around and found out, and then he walked off the project. But anyway, let's get back to this.
Think about very recently, Destin Daniel Cretton, who has made relatively small films, but then was tasked with making Shang-Chi, right? And there's many other examples of this in the past.
Shang-Chi. But my Chicago ass pronounces it Shang-Chi. Because it is. Like, we all want to say Shang-Chi. Let's be real. But yeah, I couldn't get through that. Like, I tried to watch it several times, and I just couldn't get through it. I tried really hard, guys, to watch it. I watched some of it, but it's just like, I just couldn't keep my eyes open. I couldn't pay attention. Worth a damn. Non-Fighter Rex, $5 super chat. I wouldn't necessarily mind Ryan Johnson directing a movie. TLJ was a good-looking movie, but for God's sake, don't let him near the script. True. Krista, Medea goes to Wakanda. Oh my god! Insult to the human race, Medea gets a job at the TVA. Actually, to be honest, I would like to see that. I would like to see Medea banter with Loki. Or any Marvel character, really. I would want to see that. It just has to be better written. Like, Tyler Perry's comedy was much better written years ago than it is now. But I would like to see that. I would like to see Medea banter with fucking Marvel characters. That would be hilarious. Oh my god, everyone's going, like, Shang-Chi is so dull. Shang Tsung. Shang-Chi. What the fuck? It has a J in it. I don't know. Shang Tsung again. Jamie T. Knives Out was fantastic. Debatable. It was alright. I didn't really like it that much because it was just like, I don't know. I don't even remember the movie. I remember Daniel Craig, but that's because he was a very standout character. Nothing else. I don't remember anything else from it. But anyway, Shang-Chi Town, Shang-Chi Town, Schlock-Chi, Sheena. What the fuck? Oh, Zaimoku Mizu, Fight Me. Knives Out was awful. Medea becomes Ironheart. Okay, that's enough. I gotta get back to this. We gonna be here all fucking night.
At its best, this approach is able to combine some of the better qualities of these directors with the kind of spectacle that we're used to from Marvel.
No, it doesn't. Do you know what fucking Chloe Zhao directed? Will put her on the map. What got her attention that got Marvel's attention? Fucking Nomadland. It was a movie about a fucking white bitch driving around the destitute part of America and like shitting in a bucket or whatever. Like, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it, like, for what it is. It's like, you compare that to your average Marvel film. Like, no way in hell you would let her touch a Marvel film. Come on. She's a low-key director. She's one of those directors who she just lets the camera run and let the actor do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's very low-key shit. Oh my god, Glock Chong. What the fuck are y'all doing in chat? Shanghai Schlong. Shang Sao, The Art of Dumpling. What the? How did this happen? Ching Chang Hanji. What the hell? Extreme Gamer 719 $2 super chat. David Cage directs a Marvel movie. Oh no, and you know they'll let him do it. You know they'll let him fucking do it. Dong Chi, Shark Tank, Shanghai Nights, Stop Asian Hate. Oh, what prompted this? I don't understand. Schlong, Shang-Chi, Shang-a-lang-a ding-dong. Oh, Slate Rock when Jay says the names out loud. Insult to the human race because there's some overlap with EFAP's audience and we did this all the time to them. But like, I get that, but I still don't understand what prompts this shit. What What happened? So there's got to be like some kind of trigger that I don't know about. Oh God. Nathan's Frappace? Have you seen Hereditary? No, I'm trying to stay away from that movie. From the clips I've seen, I'm not trying to be fucked up. No. I just want to stay away from it, to be honest. I'm just gonna, oh, it's a great horror movie. Like, I'll take your word for it. I'll just take your fucking word for it. I'm trying to stay away from horror movies that are like too fucked up and get inside your head psychologically, because I can't stand feeling depressed or like on edge for the rest of the day after seeing a horror movie. That's just, I'm too old for that now. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I watched, what was the name of that movie? Oh, what the fuck was it? Serbian Tale. Like, never again. Fuck that. I think that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, no. Fuck that. Anyway, let's get dim sum chi. Oh God. I'll get back to this. This is crazy.
I personally think Eternals does that successfully. But in this case, here you have Chloe Zhao, who is known for making beautiful, meditative, slowly paced movies. Sometimes movies that barely have a plot. And you're trying to have her make a movie called Eternals.
She's very adept at making movies that don't have a plot. Shit. She pulled it off. She pulled it off with this one. She stuck her foot in it.
Eternals, which has all these characters, all these stakes, on the biggest scale you can imagine, right? And I understand why people think that marriage didn't work, right? Like they found it to be unwieldy, or they found it to be a combination that didn't really make sense. For me, it worked because I thought what Chloe Zhao brought to this was a sense of, honestly, the beauty of the world and of the vast scale.
What the hell does that... The beauty of the world, like, oh, the gray, desolate world. Like, no offense, it just doesn't work for a movie like this. And when you compare that to how the comics looked and how fucking, like, it was like a colorful acid trip. The fucking costumes are uninspired and boring. The cinematography is colorless and boring. The monsters are colorless and boring. Like, you know what I mean? No offense to her. Her style probably works great with the shit she's done. But with a Marvel film or any action sci-fi film, no. Unless you're making a specific type of action or sci-fi flick that's more low-key. But then I'm like, well, sci-fi and action are mostly known for being very bombastic and colorful. And when you make something that's not that, it's just like, what, huh? Huh? Yeah, I'm just saying. But she really brought the beauty of the world. Okay, bruh. Just because you watch Nomadland and this back-to-back does not mean she did the exact same thing with both films. Like, come on.
Of humanity, some of the things that she's brought out in some of other films. But
Nope.
Some people might look at that and think that it, again, makes for a really weird combo. That said, at the end of the
No! We're cool with adding humanity to a Marvel film. But you know what Marvel properties actually fucking did that? Netflix Marvel. Oh, we want to show humanity and we want to get a little darker, a little more mature. Yeah, Netflix Marvel, they did that already. It's been done. It's over. And they did it mostly well.
day, I think Eternals is a really solid Marvel film. I actually think it could be one of the greats, but you're
No. Nah, nigga. Nah. Oh, no.
Your mileage may vary. I certainly don't think it's a terrible film. And I certainly don't think it's even a terrible Marvel.
It's terrible. I love how these motherfuckers, all you gotta do is let them talk. And they will point out everything wrong with the film while saying it's one of the greatest fucking films. And they won't even know, because there's in so much fucking denial. They just won't admit that, oh, maybe Marvel, maybe they missed. Maybe they flew too close to the sun. Maybe they fucked up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Well, not one. It's one of like 3 or 4, maybe a little more than that. But yeah, they made a bad movie. Like, stop trying to rationalize the shit.
Marvel film. I actually think this movie is way better than movies like Iron Man 2 and Thor 2, by very dint of the fact that it is way more ambitious than those films. And so it gets default points just for trying to do something so different.
Stop with that shit. It did something different, man. It was ambitious. It gets points just for that. No! Every fucking director is trying to be ambitious. And trying to do something new. And sometimes they just end up not doing it. They did something new. Like, okay, but that's just like the starting point of the script writing. What have we not seen in action and sci-fi? Or what have we not seen in this franchise before? That's the starting point. That's before you start writing the script. You know what I mean? You decide you want to make something new. But then what matters is what you put on the fucking paper. That's what matters. They tried to do something new. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a single fuck? Yeah, you tried. Like I said this before. I said this in a review I did a long time ago in my a Hellraiser Judgment review. I think it might have been that one. Where like if we no. It was my Let There Be Light review. I said, like, if I based my opinion on a film, if I based my review on whether or not a movie tried, then they all have a good review. Because everybody fucking tries. That's like the baseline of doing anything, is trying. That's just, oh god. Guardian Fortress 199 Super Chat. It's so good I won't bring any of it up. Lol. Wait, what? Chekhov's Antlers, EFAP movies, Sneakerella would be fantastic. Yes, it would. Go spam them with that shit. I feel like I'd be yelled at if I gave that as a suggestion. Hey, Marvel. I said Marvel by accident. Hey, Mauler. Sneakerella. Work on it. Get that shit together, and I want to be a part of it. I mean, they have so much crap that they're juggling right now anyway. I don't know. I feel like I'd be burdening them. A. Collins, this is the real world! Sentient DLDO, it's built different. Almost paraplegic. Michael Carrion, he'd hand out 10 out of 10 reviews as a participation trophy. Yeah, it's basically like the participation trophy compliment for a film. It tried new shit. Like, everyone tries when they make a film. Everyone fucking tries when they do anything. When they try to make anything worthwhile, they try. Like, that's fucking step 1 is trying. So, like, when you say, oh, well, it gets points for trying. No, it doesn't. It fucking doesn't. Like, if someone were like, I don't know, we're gonna go out and rob a bank. And, we're gonna go out and rob a bank. And they ended up murdering, like, several people during the bank robbery. And one of their defenses to the judge during the murder trial would be like, well, I tried not to kill him. But, you know, like, shit happens. I tried. They don't give you no points for trying. You still fucked it up. And now you on trial for murder. Like, trying? Like, who gives a fuck? Lord Forchungus, new ideas aren't necessarily good, and cliches aren't necessarily bad when used properly. Correct. 100, yeah, 100%. I can't stand it when people, that is so, when some people, when they review something, they say, that is so cliche. Okay, but how was it implemented? How was it put into, how was it used in the film? Like, are you going to talk about that, or are you just going to say it's cliche and move the fuck on? The Nostalgia Critic used to do that shit. It's a cliche! It's a cliche! Like, who gives a fuck, Doug? Did they use it? Did they use it well? Was it entertaining? Or not? Something just being a cliche doesn't mean it's bad. Like, shut up.
And ambitious than just a typical Marvel origin story. So all that is why I gotta say, don't believe the hate. Check out it. It gets default points. You
just tried to fucking empathize with people who hate the film. And now you're saying don't believe the hate. I understand why you hate it, because of this valid problem, this valid problem, this valid problem, this valid problem. But now I'm going to close the video with saying don't believe the hate. Okay? So we're just supposed to go on... So we're supposed to just, like, learn from... Or, like, get our opinions from the people who like it? No, I don't think so.
Just for trying to do something so different and ambitious than just a typical Marvel origin story. So all that...
It is a typical Marvel movie, because it's just a group of assholes in stupid outfits doing magical shit. What makes it different from the other Marvel movies is that it's terrible. It's that it's got the worst plotting and uninteresting characters. That's what makes it different. Uninteresting characters, no charisma, no chemistry, no interesting villains. I mean, technically Marvel hasn't really had an interesting villain, but let's say they haven't had a fun villain. They didn't have a fun villain in the Eternals. And you were kind of confused as to who the fucking villain was. And not in a good way. Not like, oh, we're all the villains. This is a very gray, morally gray film. No, it's just, you just didn't understand what the fuck was going on. It's different. Yeah, Eternals is different in that it's worse than all the other fucking Marvel films. That's how it's different.
That is why I gotta say, don't believe the hate. Check out Eternals. See it in theaters if you feel it's safe to do so. Watch it when it hits Disney Plus, but I think it's really, really good. And I'm curious what you thought of Eternals. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know.
And who watched this shit and was like, oh, this review makes sense. Like, no hate to this guy. You know, he's entitled to his opinion. It's just shit. It's just a shit opinion. The video isn't that good. It's one, like I said, it's one of those reviews where they're trying to, like, rationalize like their feelings on it. And, no, it's good. I like it, and that means it's good. But I'm gonna subtly throw in why I secretly really don't like it. I know what the problems are. I just don't want to believe that this movie has problems, because I like garbage. I just don't want to. I don't have the balls to admit it that I like garbage. Like, I'm almost there into believing that the movie's shit. But I just can't do it. Because the movie is so obviously shit, even people that like it are like, okay, well, you know, they gotta give it to the people who hate it. You gotta give it to the haters, that they know what they're talking about. You know nothing, John Snowden, 199 super chat. This guy's interviewing to replace Collider. Insult to the human race, rational lies. Okay, but that's about it. And unfortunately, we can't see how well his video did because the dislikes are gone. Yay! Thanks, YouTube. Yay! I wanted to, like, roast, well, not roast, but, like, see how well his video was doing, and we just can't. Oh, well. Alright, let's see what else we got. Let's go to Emergency Awesome, his or her or they, whatever, review.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the...
That's a way to start a review. This nigga got 4 million subs. This is clearly someone important on YouTube. But who gives a fuck? We're gonna roast him anyway.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. Delayed the emergence. But the people of this
Now, keep in mind, it's not tied to the MCU at all, guys. Even though they reference Thanos, and it technically is part of the fucking plot. And it does affect the plot in some way. But it's not a part of the MCU. It's not. It's its own, like, dark offshoots, separate from the MCU. Like, get the fuck out of here.
This planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger.
What I hate about this movie the most is it's just an amalgamation of fucking celebrities and stars, like actors you've seen in other shit. Oh, we got a Game of Thrones actor. We got Selma fucking Hayek, the guy from Atlanta. We got fucking Stuber. Like, who are these niggas? like we know who they are, but it's like, why are there? This group doesn't make sense. The group does not make sense.
How long do we have?
7 days.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanos was right. This is going to be my Eternals video all about how Thanos saved the Avengers and half the planet from the Celestial Host.
Oh yeah, by the way, this video is titled Eternals, how Thanos saved the Avengers from the Celestials.
There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs here in the brand new footage that they released, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. Later this week, my Eternals post-credit scene video, as well as my full movie Easter eggs breakdown videos will start posting. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, be sure to go see it when you have the opportunity. This video will only contain things that I've talked about in my previous Eternals trailer videos. So if you've seen the trailers for the movie, then this won't contain any big spoilers that you don't already know about. But during this new Marvel Eternals trailer, the longer scene that they released, in the beginning of the movie when Richard Madden's Icarus and Salma Hayek's Ajax character are meeting again for the first time in thousands of years, just chatting it up on the events of Avengers Endgame, Thanos, the snap and the blip, Ajax mentions that she's been contacted by Arishem the Judge, the Prime Celestial. He's the leader of the entire Celestial host, that giant red one that you see in all the trailers. The members of the Celestials race that band together in a team call themselves the Celestial Host. That's why we call Ego the Living Planet a rogue Celestial, because he was a Celestial just like them, just as powerful, but he didn't become part of the Celestial Host. So in this conversation that they're having, she's telling Icarus that the Celestials have seen that the emergence has been jump-started by the Hulk's Infinity Gauntlet snap during Avengers Endgame, and as I've talked about in my previous videos, the emergence Icarus that he didn't become part of the Celestial Host. Yeah, he's got one of those
voices where I gotta like really wake myself up and pay attention.
Because he was a Celestial just like them, just as powerful, but he didn't become part of the Celestial Host. So in this conversation that they're having, she's telling Icarus that the Celestials have seen that the emergence has been jump-started by...
And like one of the things you'll notice about these Thanos tried to save us videos in the Eternals bullshit is that they really try. The only thing they have is like one fucking movie to explain this, and it's like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's it. There's no concrete fucking evidence in any other fucking Marvel film. There's no concrete reference to the Eternals in any other fucking film. But that's what happens when you bring someone in, an indie director in, and let him do what the fuck he wants to do, mostly. You start peeking at his homework and then think, oh, we can build something from this. And no, you can't, because you're not doing what he's doing. Like, you're not, like, I think James Gunn could have made a great Eternals film. But, like, yeah, you peeked at his homework, and you're like, oh, well, the Celestials, let's do that. But you fucked it up. And now you're trying to tie it into the rest of the universe. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, people will think it's connected because, the Celestial thing, because it was referenced in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
the Hulk's Infinity Gauntlet snap during Avengers Endgame, and as I've talked about in my previous videos, the emergence is the event that describes the emergence of a totally new celestial that's been growing inside planet Earth for millions of years, feeding on the low-level cosmic energy given off by humans. It's a very Matrix-like explainer for the Marvel Universe. Humans as batteries, but make it Marvel. I talk about how this
Humans as batteries, but make it Marvel. No, but like they were also plugged into like a simulation of life on Earth. Like, you know, there's more to it than that. Make it like humans as batteries, but make it Marvel. And it's not just humans. I think it's all life that is powering the emergence. I think that's what it is. Michael Carrion, 199 super chats.
This is sort of connected to WandaVision and the way she manipulates background cosmic radiation, the energy given off by the Infinity Stones, but I don't want this to turn into like a 20 or 30 minute video. So Ajax and Icarus are aware that when the emergence is going to happen, it's going to destroy the entire planet. Like, look at how big Arishan the Judge is orbiting the Earth when he's communicating with Ajax on this celestial Zoom call. He's massive. He's like Galactus size. So even if the new celestial winds up being smaller, it bursts out of the Earth, it would destroy it completely. And over the past 7,000 years that they've been on Earth, the Eternals have grown to love humanity kind of like their own children, so they're freaking out about how to stop this from happening. But during this scene, Ajax is basically telling Icarus shit's about to go down. And effectively, it means that Thanos saved the Earth, the half of humanity that he didn't snap. Like, half is better than nothing, right? So Thanos saved the Avengers from the Celestials, not just the Celestials.
He saved humanity by killing half of it. I mean, you know there was a reason they called him the Mad Titan, right? Because he was fucking mad. Oh, shit.
Still growing inside the planet, because that would have destroyed them when it burst out of the planet.
And I don't believe Thanos fucking knew that was going to happen. This video and the film theorist video, they don't... Oh, he knew it was going to happen, but he didn't know. Like, they're... These videos suck so bad. The film theorist video, I actually watched damn near all the way through because I was just baffled by how bad it was. Michael Carrion, $2 super chat. Good guy bad, bad guy good. Give me the views.
But Thanos also saved the Avengers from Arishan the Judge and the rest of the Celestial host. Because all the Celestials care about is the emergence, hatching this new Celestial, creating more Celestials all over the universe doing similar emergence-type plans on other worlds. They only care about humans and the other lesser life forms around the universe in so much as they're the cosmic food source that the new Celestials they're trying to create feed on. This'll all sound familiar too when we get to Thor Love and Thunder and Gore the God Butcher's plan. Like you saw all the Thanos was right memes after Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, when we get to Thor Love and Thunder, you'll see a lot of Gore was right memes posting again. Gore goes around killing the gods of the Marvel Universe because he feels like they don't care about humans or the other people that serve them. It's kind of the same situation with the Celestials. It's like the Loki explainer, ants in boots. But if the Celestials are attempting to grow a new Celestial on a planet and something happens to kill it, or it doesn't go to plan the way they want it, the Celestial host will show up and just wipe the planet of all life and start over again on a different planet. We've actually already seen that happen. That's kind of what's going on during this classic Guardians of the Galaxy scene with Esau the Searcher using the Power Stone, when the Collectors explain the history.
Just because James Gunn references shit does not mean it's connected to Thanos or what he did. James Gunn always did his own shit. I think Marvel just looked at it and was like I said, copied his homework and was like, yeah, you know, let's take from that. Let's take from that and start Phase 4 or this fucking or the Eternals franchise on this shit. But they botched it because they could have, like, look at that. Look how good that looks. That looks very good. I'm not saying, well, yeah, actually, the Celestial from the Eternals did look fine. But, you know, like, he would have made it a little way more fun and like nice to look at and more involving. And the characters actually would have been something. You know what I mean?
History of the universe, the history of the Infinity Stones. He shows Isan the Searcher, a member of the Celestial Host, using the Infinity Stone to wipe the planet. Now, given the new context on the Celestials' true plan this whole time since they were created, it's implied that whichever Celestial they were trying to grow on this particular planet, something happened to it and it went off the rails, so they just wiped the experiment and started over again on another planet. I know a lot of you are also asking now, is this what happened to Thanos' home planet on Titan? Because it also got destroyed. I'll talk about that later in the video too. But even though Thanos
like,
is
it's space, it could have been fucking anything. Albatross, $5 super chat. How many good tier beings are inhabiting the Marvel Universe? Their stuff feels legit crowded. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's space. It could have been anything that destroyed Thanos' planet. Anything.
Legit psychopath confirmed. If you think about it, he really did save the Avengers and the planet from the Celestials for at least a little while. Until the Avengers Time Heist and Avengers Endgame.
But he didn't know specifically what was going on. He was just like, yeah, I gotta save you by killing half of you. Because then you're like, oh, it wipes away everything bad that he's done. And now we gotta look at him like, kind of an anti-hero now? But no, he's not. No. I mean, ugh. Didn't they try that shit in that What If series that they recently came out with? Thanos his mind was changed by T'Challa. I think that's what it was. Oh, God. Like, why are they trying to make Thanos all... Why are people trying to make excuses for this nigga now? I mean...
The Hulk's Infinity Gauntlet snap brought everyone back. The reason why the blip jump-started the emergence again is because the Celestial growing inside the planet needs a certain...
Yeah, no shit, we know that.
...amount of cosmic energy that it leeches off the sum total of humanity. Before...
I'm gonna be honest. Emergency Awesome is boring as shit. He is so fucking boring.
Before Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet snap, there were a little over 7 billion humans on Earth, so had Thanos not snapped the Infinity Gauntlet, the emergence would have happened about 7 days after the ending of Avengers Infinity War. Like, Infinity War would have ended...
Then that should have been brought the fuck up from jump. That is a big thing. That is a huge thing. There's a whole fucking movie based on it because it's a huge thing. That's the whole plot of the Eternals. Why wouldn't you bring that up? Excuse me. Or at least build that up during Infinity War or any of the other fucking Marvel films. And like I said, Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't really count because James Gunn does his own thing and that shit was not referenced anywhere else. Not specifically. Not deliberately. Like I said before, I think they looked at what James Gunn did, and what can we do with the good properties that we have? What can we take from the good shit we've made and make some phase 4 content out of that? I mean, come on, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, okay, let's take Bucky and Let's take Bucky and Sam and make a whole show with them. They know what the hell they're doing. And they don't know what they're doing. But this shit should have been referenced. That is a huge thing. The emergence, that's a big thing. Why the fuck wouldn't you build that up? It doesn't make any sense.
Same kind of downer ending, except the giant Celestial would have burst out of the planet, shattering it and killing everyone on Earth. So when he snaps the Infinity Gauntlet, half of the people on the planet vanished. It chopped the cosmic power supply line to this new Celestial that was growing, delaying the emergence, as Ajax says. The way she talks about it, she makes it sound like the emergence would have taken...
But see, like I said, the problem with that is they did not build that up. They did not build it up! Guardian Fortress, bye all. Goodbye! Be well. Atomic American. I mean, James Gunn might have been able to do it right, but the point is you need the right director for an ensemble movie. Correct. Yes. You know nothing, Jon Snowden. God damn it, Eternals was greenlit when James Gunn was fired at DC. Well, it was fired and at DC. Damn. Yeah, that's strange. Lord Forchungus. Wait, doesn't that mean the Earth should have been destroyed 7 days after alternate T'Challa talked Thanos out of his issues? Probably. Outbreak Prime, if Thanks, or I guess that he meant to say Thanos, was trying to kill the Celestial, why didn't he tell people about them? Or, for that matter, fucking kill them because he has the Infinity Stones. Actually, that's why I want to switch to this other video I was watching. Like I said, by the film theorists. Because that one is really dumb. It's really bad. Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because this one is putting me to sleep. I can't stand this one. Like, I watched some of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I can work with this. But I only, like, watched and, like, heard a couple dumb things and went with it. But it's put, like, now that I'm watching the whole thing, it's putting me to sleep.
Eight, 9, 10. 10 rings. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Facts from our codex. What do you think?
Well, I suppose that's one way to get me to care about this movie.
What? Oh. Oh my god, it's like wings and there's 10 of them and there's like 10 people in this other movie. And, you know, I care about the movie now because the number 10, like, oh, that is so retarded. Why? Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the film theorist. We're gonna talk about the film theorist video, because the other one, like I said, was putting me to sleep. Film theory: Thanos tried to save us, and Eternals proves it. Ugh. And I already hate, like, the animation thing he's going with. It's lame.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, where we've always been with you, watching, guiding, making you cringe, and seeing you accomplish wonders.
And being self-aware of your cringe does not... Like, self-aware cringe doesn't make you... And admitting that doesn't make you any less cringe. I just want to make that clear. Lauren Tay's $5 Super Chat. X-Men and Fantastic Four won't be ready till God knows when, and they've burned through all their other popular characters. None of this was planned. Oh, no, of course not. Nah.
That time that you managed to pick up the phone without screening the number first. That was truly
Why is
miraculous.
that phone flat? That's not even funny. That's not even a funny visual gag. That's just like, damn, you couldn't... I don't know, like, it could... Something about this is just, it's just, annoying.
Get this. Eternals is the last MCU feature film to not be a part of an existing series or a property that's been adapted before. That is kind of crazy when you think about it.
It's part of the universe, though. It's not part of anything. Yeah, but it directly references Infinity War and how that, and Endgame to some extent, and how that affects the film. But like I said before, just because it is not a sequel does not mean it's not connected to the MCU. That's dumb. It's not a sequel. It's not connected to anything. It is connected. And you use Endgame as an example. Are you It is connected to Endgame. Especially considering the video that you are making, that makes it even more apparent. Thanos tried to save us. Eternals proves it, but but Eternals is not connected to any other fucking MCU film. And he uses Endgame. He visually uses Endgame as an example of what it's not connected to. Yeah, retardation. Total retardation. So already we're not off to a good start. It's been 41 seconds. And there's already a contradiction and just total horseshit. Non-Vitarex, $20 super chat. Are these Celestials so far out of the loop and or dumb that some mad titan can roam the universe, culling half of planetary populations, and it never occurs to them this might interfere with the birthing of new Celestials? Yeah, that's what I said. Like, why not tell the Eternals to be involved in the whole Thanos snap thing, or try to stop Thanos, but it just doesn't happen. That's how you know this shit was not planned. It was not planned, because any good villain or any good like crazy leader, dictator, whatever would have been like, hey, remember when I said don't get involved in any human bullshit or anything involving humans or anything not involving deviants? I changed my mind. The emergence has to happen. We all know this. They all knew this. It was all part of the deal. At least I think it was. Did they not? No, that's right. They didn't know that until later, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But you could still manipulate, like they're robots. You could still manipulate them to do whatever the fuck you want them to do. Because they have programming. It's even made clear, like one of the characters, Angelina Jolie, has like this very specific mental illness that's really just faulty programming. So they have programming. So he could have, Asherim, or whatever the fuck his name is, he could have programmed them to stop Thanos and stop the emergence. Not stop the emergence, but like stop Thanos, stop the snap so they could continue the emergence. But they just didn't. It just didn't happen. Because this shit was not planned. It was not. And people trying to, no, it was planned. It totally was. Turtles proves it. Like, no. You fucking consumer. It was not planned.
The company's announced this massive plan for movies going forward into 2023 and beyond, and yet none of them are actually original. And honestly, based on the negative early reception to Eternals, yeah, they probably won't want to be taking that chance again anytime soon anyway. It's kind of like the YouTube top 10 creator tool that measures each of your last 10 uploads. Ooh, Endgame.
Hold on, let's rewind. I just want to rewind something right quick.
Companies announced this massive plan for movies going forward into 2023 and beyond, and yet none of them are actually original. And honestly, based on the negative...
Hold on, pause. Let's look at that. None of them are actually original. I thought Shang-Chi was original. Everyone was saying how original that fucking movie was when it came out. None of them are actually original. Shang-Chi was original. That you could say... Now that definitely wasn't really connected to any other film, at least from my understanding. Like I said, I could barely get through it. I could barely fucking get through it. But Shang-Chi is way more original than Eternals. In terms of its connection to the MCU, it's way more original. None of these were original, but then he crosses out Shang-Chi. I don't get that. Yes, oh god. It's like they just pick a topic and make a video on it. It doesn't matter if they actually care or if they're they even it doesn't matter if they even really care about what the fuck they're talking about. Extreme Gamer 719 was an abomination in that movie. But damn, does anyone even fucking remember what was it? The Incredible Hulk? Insults to the human race, $5 super chat. MadPat has ignored evidence in the source material to make these theories work before. Keep that in mind as we move forward with this. Yeah, I can already fucking see that. Ugh. But yeah, I guess it does reference other. I didn't know the Incredible Hulk was a part of the MCU. I had no fucking clue. But like, it's still, even if it was connected to that, it's still way more original than Eternals. That was also supposed to be one of the original what do you call it? This has nothing to do with the actual universe, even though it kind of does. But like, it's its own separate thing that we're trying to build up. It's not based on any other character you've ever seen before, and it's its own thing. And it's not exactly connected to the MCU. But, like, he crossed it out, though. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
3 and beyond, and yet none of them are actually original. And honestly, based on the negative early reception to Eternals, yeah, they probably won't want to be taking that chance again anytime soon anyway. It's kind of like the YouTube top...
Well, stop fucking hiring indie directors, and you won't have a shitty film.
top 10 creator tool that measures each of your last 10 uploads. Ooh, Endgame, #1 upload. Not surprising, but good to see. Shang-Chi, solid, performing on average. Eternals, 10th place. Ooh, by a lot. Wow, not great. Gotta follow that one up with a banger so the channel doesn't die. Fire up a Spider-Man! Anyway, regardless of...
Are you really flexing on your views because you uploaded trailers? Like the official trailers? Okay. At least I think those are the official trailers. Let me know if they actually upload trailers. Unless this is they're like simulating views from the Marvel the official Marvel YouTube algorithm, which is like, huh? How the fuck would you know this? I don't know. It's just I already hate this video.
quality or public response, it legitimately makes Eternals pretty darn special. Add to that the fact that it was written and directed by double Oscar-winning director Chloe Zhao, a
which means nothing. Like I said, this is not her genre. I mean, look at her. Come on. Like, no offense. It's not... I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, she's such... Like, oh, I'm so indie. There's no way she could have successfully done a movie in this genre. I'm sorry, but no. She's got 2 Oscars. That means she could direct a Marvel film? No.
Described Marvel Comics fan who was originally approached by Marvel to direct Black Widow, but after passing on that project, sold them her own
What is that? What is this?
pitch
What is
to
that
make this
random
movie.
blotch?
Again, pretty cool. You'll notice, however, that one key thing I'm avoiding talking about, and that's the plot. Because, well...
I don't get it.
And yeah, that about sums up a lot of the internet's initial reactions to this movie days after its release. This is a weird movie that takes a lot of risks. After all,
it's a bad movie, not weird. I love that shit. Well, it takes a lot of risks. It's weird. No, it's just bad. If you say you don't get the plot, I don't think that means it's weird. I think that means that the plot is just all over the place, which this movie's plot was. It's just weird, like how they just changed their character motivation suddenly. It's just so weird.
this is a movie that's full of philosophy, morality, and the nature of human existence, and
No, it's not. You can only say that shit if you actually fucking explore it. And if you actually make an honest, and you actually, like I said, just fucking talk about it at all. You can't just show motherfuckers crying in the middle of devastation and think, oh, we've explored, like, humanity and, like humanity's propensity to kill each other. No, it's not how that works.
Usually, if someone in a Marvel movie asks, why are we here? The answer is obviously to punch that bad guy. And then they do, and then Spider-Man makes a movie reference, and one of the older guys with goatees does the sarcasm reaction. And then one of the...
Oh, yeah, because, and then again, no, Civil War didn't do Why Are We Here, but it did have some mature themes that were explored, talked about, characters actually sat down and had conversations. Also, these pictures, bruh, like, you couldn't find a clear, like, PNG of any of these motherfuckers. Look at this. Look how bad this is. I'd come up with better shit than this. Where's my couple million fucking subscribers? 10 million subscribers. What is this shit? How do you not come up with better PNG images than this? Like, it's Marvel characters. Excuse me.
Funny, sincere characters does the...
Yeah, look at it. It's not even like... That's just how they look. What the fuck? Do better.
Reaction. And one of the serious mother figures goes, ugh, boys.
Oh, Lord. Mother figure? Captain Marvel, for real? You gonna go there? Mother figure? I don't think so. Especially how she rolled up on Peter Parker in Endgame, which is just awkward and weird. Hey, Peter Parker. Like flirty and shit. Which is weird. Anyway. Yeah, mother figure. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that from Natasha at all. Especially when she was trying to bang the Hulk and Captain America. Well, she had flirtation with Captain America, but still. and her relationship with Clint, that was friendship, maybe some romanticism in there a little bit. I wouldn't call, mommy, yes, but not mother figure. I wouldn't say that. And what the fuck is up with this picture? What is up with these pictures he uses? Like, ugh.
And everybody laughs, but not in this movie. In Eternal.
Yeah, and the cringe, like, smiles and shit. Chris Rayner, Black Widow had no womb. No, that's so mean, but it's true. British Knight, £2 super chat. Didn't need to know about Mad Pat's mommy fetish.
Eternals, it's suddenly, haha, yeah, but no, seriously, I'm feeling existentially unmoored about the nature of my place in the universe.
It has the same fucking themes as any other Marvel film. They don't try to ask any questions. Like I said, it's all fucking over the place. They still make dumbass jokes. It may not be all the time, but as soon as Stuber shows up, the jokes, like that Marvel joke machine shit, comes in full force. But that's because they just relegated it to one character. To one fucking character. That's the only difference between this Marvel film and other Marvel films. Is that they relegated the comedy to one character. They probably heard the complaints like, oh, everyone's always joking and shit. Why don't they just shut the fuck up? And they made everyone as emotionless as fucking possible, except for one character. And called that fucking progress.
And I think we should take a long break in Act 2 to talk this thing out. If nothing else, this movie will go down as Marvel's first uncomfortable sexy time scene. Yeah, parents, there's a spoiler alert for you. Surprise! They're nudie and doing stuff in a Marvel movie. I'm sitting there watching this on opening night, and the parents in the audience are all collectively stiffening at the same time as they frantically tried to decide how to deal with their kids sitting next to them. It was a palpable uncomfort in the audience.
You sure it wasn't you sitting next to them that made them uncomfortable for their children?
Gonna have a fun time explaining that one to the kiddos on the way home. In short, Eternals, for winding up as a quote-unquote lesser Marvel movie, actually gives us a lot that we need to talk about because of what it's trying to accomplish. Outside
trying to accomplish, not accomplished. Trying to accomplish.
Of getting me to buy a Lexus, that is.
Go forget.
It makes us ask questions. It doesn't answer them, and like the characters really don't ask the questions, but it makes us, the audience, ask the questions. And not because of any existential angst we might be having because of the plot and the very intricate plot or anything. It's just because we don't know what the fuck is going on and what these characters are doing.
Kingo.
Where are you?
I'm almost there. Parking.
The Avengers wouldn't be late.
Exhilaration is eternal in the first ever V8 Lexus IS 500.
This one film completely rewrites the entire history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, while also upending the future of where things are headed. And not just in the usual way Marvel movies.
Well, for one thing, Loki already rewrote the Marvel Universe, technically. So yeah, this movie is not responsible
movies
for
tend
that.
to, with some brand new person showing up in the middle of the credits and saying his catchphrase where half the theater goes, oh, he said the thing. So let's actually talk about some of the more exciting stuff, starting with what I think is the most interesting and new person of where things are headed. And not just in the usual way Marvel movies tend to, with some brand new person showing up in the middle of the credits and saying his catchphrase where half the theater goes, oh, he said the thing. So
even though that's exactly what they did at the end of Eternals. That's exactly what the fuck they did. Blade showed up. Well, his voice showed up. Blade, which doesn't even fucking fit into the end of Eternals. It doesn't make sense. Why the fuck is Blade even there? That was lame to me. That was so dumb. Like, we're gonna show this character because he's got some, not because he fits into the Phase 4 fold or anything like that. But because he's got a fucking movie coming up and we gotta put him somewhere. We gotta hype this up now. It has got nothing to do, like how when Nick Fury shows up in the first Iron Man movie and he says, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative, that was like, oh, that was fitting. That was fitting. But Blade showing up, a vampire killer showing up to talk to Kit Harington. Like, I wouldn't do that if I were you, which is like, anyone knows that shit. Anyone knows what the fuck any of them talking about. It just feels like we need to hype this character now because this movie's going to come out soon. That's it. Oh yeah, Mad Force Song 01, Star Fox, Ebony Blade, and Blade were thrown in there. Yeah. The Magnificent Blade will always be Wesley Snipes. Fight me. Yeah, I would have to agree, especially considering how they're trying to shoehorn Blade into a PG-13 franchise. Which, yeah, you already know what it is. You already know what it's going to be. Not saying that Mahershala Ali is going to be bad, because I don't think it's going to be bad. I just think the movie is going to be bad, because we're going to get a PG-13 fucking vampire killer film. Which is, that's not a good sign. That's not going to be good. Loyal TF fan, a PG Blade sounds awful. Well, PG-13, a little edgy. Just no blood or lacerations, no bones breaking, no F words, like no Blade, dropping his stoic facade to just start hurling expletives or anything. Nah. Yeah, none of that, but Loyal TF fan, let's be real. They're more PG with it's just PG with an extra curse word. True. Red Chariot PG Blade is gonna suck. Yeah. I'm not doubting Mahershala Ali. I know he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great with what he's given, but I don't think the movie's gonna be good. I'm sorry, I just don't. You can't convince me. You just can't. A bloodless, basically violenceless and edgeless vampire killer movie. It just don't make sense. You remember every PG-13 vampire film you've ever seen, and it's always been lame. Every single last fucking one of them. I've never seen a vampire movie that was PG-13 and good at the same time. I mean, I guess you could say Van Helsing, but that gets a pass because it embraced its corny side. Like, it was really goofy and shit, but I'm talking about like a serious fucking vampire killer film. Like an action film. Like a balls to the wall action film. I just don't see this movie being successful. Sith Dreamer. Oh, hold on a sec. Damn it. Just wiping off my eye. Sith Dreamer, Jay, have you heard the rumor that Disney was discussing more adult content on their service? If there's any truth to it, maybe we can get something better later. I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, they said they're going to bring back Daredevil, but I don't even know about that. I mean, there was a lot of violence and blood in that. I think they'll dumb that down too and water it down. And I think that was PG-13, like a hard PG-13 technically. Well, anyway, let's get back to this garbage.
Let's actually talk about some of the more exciting stuff. Starting with what I think is the most interesting and important reveal of all, Eternals proves that Thanos was right again. All right, so...
No. He wasn't even right the first time. He wasn't even right the first fucking time. But he was right again. He was right. He's only right if he knew what was going to happen. And he warned people explicitly. I don't understand why Thanos wouldn't warn anyone explicitly. Why wouldn't he? He's really upfront about killing our asses. So why wouldn't he be upfront with why he's killing our asses? It doesn't make any sense.
Without recapping the nearly 3-hour runtime of Eternals, I'm just gonna focus on the stuff that you need to know. The Earth is pregnant.
Isn't it obvious, Morty? I f***ed the planet.
In the Marvel Universe...
Oh, no. Look, I like this show. I like Rick and Morty, at least, from the seasons that I've seen thus far. But I don't know, something about him being referenced in this video was just bleh.
What humans consider gods are actually massive cosmic space creatures called Celestials, who we've actually seen before in the MCU via the Guardians movies.
See?
Peter Quill's dad, Ego, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What are you exactly?
I'm what's called a celestial, sweetheart.
This big guy during the Collector's speech in Guardians 1.
Observe.
And the giant skull where the Collector's base is. Nowhere. Yep, that's actually a Celestial head. Anyway, the Celestials' main thing is mucking around with evolution with the help of their lab assistants, the superhuman robot Eternals, and the ugly monster Deviants. And this is to help them survive. You see, it turns out that the Celestials reproduce by laying their eggs inside the core of planets, because the life cycles of living beings evolving for generations provide them the billions of years worth of energy that they need for those eggs to.
I can see the outline on that alligator PNG. Can you see that? I can see that outline, you fuck boy. Yeah, it's okay. It's lagging a little bit. Hold on. Come on, work with me. Hang on. There it is. I mean, you can't see it that well, but like, there it is, the edge of the PNG. That's not supposed to fucking happen. Not if you're being... I mean, I hate to be that editor or person who's always just picking it. But like, 10 million subscribers. 10 million. 10 million. I don't know. I hold people, like, when you got high number of subs, I hold you to high standards. I'm just saying.
That they need for those eggs to gestate. And Earth has one of those eggs. The celestial Tiamat is inside of Earth, waiting to be born, which would be cool, except for one teeny tiny detail. When the newborn celestial hatches, it destroys the planet and kills every living thing on it. So yeah, Earth is suddenly on a doomsday clock. Or would be if it hadn't been for everyone's favorite giant purple raisin man, Thanos. In what might be the darkest implied twist in the Marvel Universe yet, it turns out that before Earth's mightiest hero saved the universe from Thanos, Thanos saved Earth from the Celestials. Apparently, the emergence of Tiamat was on
by killing half of the planet. That's not really saving people. Like, they try to make it like some kind of Watchmen thing. Oh, Osmodius and Amodium AD, he wanted to kill a huge chunk of the planet, or like just New York. I forgot which one it was. My only knowledge of Watchmen is really the Zack Snyder film. But he wanted to blow up some shit so he could save us from annihilation. It's still shitty though. I mean, in Watchmen you could understand it. In this, like with this theory, like you're trying to piece together, you're trying to connect some dots that are all the way over there. Like they're too far away for you to connect.
Scheduled to happen a few years ago, but got delayed because something cut the population of the universe, and thus the egg's power supply in half. In half, you say?
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
And when the
go fuck yourself. Rewind that. Hang on.
Emergence of Tiamat was on schedule to happen a few years ago, but got delayed because something cut the population of the universe, and thus the egg's power supply in half. In half, you say?
Perfectly balanced.
Like, how is that supposed to be a tie-in? How is... I cut my sandwich in half. In half, you say? And then shows the same fucking clip. See? I'm basically in the Marvel Universe. Because I cut my sandwiches in half before eating them.
All things should be.
And when the Avengers assembled to snap everyone back into existence, suddenly Tiamat was back on the clock to hatch, which, wouldn't you know, is the main threat of this movie. And that's not the only way that Thanos helped out either. The eventual pulling together of humanity to undo the snap turns out to be the tipping point that gets a member of the Eternals to turn against their master and stop the emergence. So does that make Thanos Earth's mightiest hero? Kinda.
Fuck no.
Yeah. Sure, the Avengers saved half of humanity, but Thanos literally saved the entire planet. Adding insult to injury, the fact that the Avengers...
Thanos saved the entire planet and just shows people dropping like flies.
Undoing his work puts Tiamat once again on the fast track to hatching. That only strengthens Thanos' case. But here's where things get really...
But he didn't know about this because he didn't tell anybody. Because this was not planned. when they wrote Endgame and Infinity War. As much as you try to make it seem that way, no.
Interesting. Was this intentional or not? Did Thanos know what he was really doing when he snapped everyone away, or was this just some lucky coincidence? I think that there's a case to be made that he knew what he was doing, but maybe he couldn't.
Y'all acting like these are real fucking people who've made these decisions and not fucking a writer's room and studio executives. Was this planned? Was this like a happy coincidence? No, it wasn't planned. Like the fucking writers didn't know that they were gonna make a shitty Eternals movie when they were writing the Infinity Sagas. Like stop.
Articulate it. Let me explain. It all starts off with 3 key lines from Infinity War. First, listen to him describe the fall of Titan.
Titan was like most planets. Too many mouths, not enough to go around. And when we faced extinction, I offered a solution. They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Notice that he says extinction here, and it's kept.
So, nigga? Krista, $5 super chat. If you cut the population in half, wouldn't that just cut the rate of emergence in half? Excuse me, not stopping it. So wouldn't it have happened like 100 weeks earlier? Nah, because like it needs a certain amount of power in order to happen. It's like you can't have a bunch of you can't have two like half power D batteries in your boombox and have it run smoothly. Like this is like power. Like we gotta think about this like batteries. As soon as you cut half the power of a battery, the fucking whole thing's just gonna go out because it can't run on that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I fucked that up. Fuck. No. It needs to, like usually. Fuck. See, now I've confused myself. Shit. Like when you want, like this is when you want to do like a whole thing. Like it's not like when you want to play a radio. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's more like we need this much power to. God damn it. Shit. I'm thinking of something. I got it in my head, and I'm just like, ugh. All right, fuck it. I just don't know. Oh God, because like the stream is already bearing down on me. Cause all the tomfoolery of these videos is killing me. But I don't know, cause like I think it feeds on the energy. Well, it feeds on the energy, the celestial, in order to be born. Like if you think of think of it like childbirth. Like if the mother needs a certain amount of energy to bring a baby into the world, then they got to keep that up. Like if they lose half their blood, if they suffer like massive blood loss, the baby might not be born. Right? It might not be born. It might die with the mother. You don't know. Or like if the mother starves to death, then the baby ain't gonna survive either. That's gonna make things a little bit problematic. A red rose spark. It's killing us too, Jay. Atomic American. Is Earth the only planet that had been harboring a new celestial? From what I heard, like every planet has a new celestial cooking in it. That's what I heard. But like they said, they didn't build this shit up, so I don't fucking know. Like in terms of in the MCU, I don't know.
Very vague. We assume the extinction is related to the planet's lack of resources, since that's what he's talking about. But what if the
Yes. Why would he say something explicitly like that? No, but he really meant something else. What? What, nigga?
Extinction was coming from another source, a celestial source, feeding on those too many mouths. Because there's another line earlier about the nature of the planet Titan, and it feels...
That's not the same thing as sucking up a planet's resources. You did not... you were stretching this so far.
Off.
It's not the same thing as fucking sucking up our resources.
What the hell happened to this planet? It's 8 degrees off its axis. gravitational pull is all over the place.
Titan isn't just a dead planet where people died due to a lack of resources. It's a planet that has been fundamentally altered. As Peter Quill points out, the
yeah, but when a celestial comes out of a fucking planet, they completely obliterate it. How the fuck were they able to stand on that planet if it had been completely, if an emergence had taken place? It doesn't make any sense. It's like that little piece of the Death Star in The Rise of Skywalker. Even though you saw it blow to smithereens into little tiny bits, there's still a big ass chunk of the Death Star in The Rise of Skywalker for some odd reason. Like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. You're stretching it. You're stretching it.
Gravitation on the planet is weird. It is somehow off its axis. That sort of cosmic change doesn't...
A whole ass nigga coming out of a planet is not just gonna put the Earth off its axis. It's gonna fucking destroy it. Get the fuck
happen
out
just
here.
because a planet runs out of food and water. That comes from a celestial popping out of this thing like a giant Kinder egg. Something more...
No! Oh, all the food and water leaving is because, like, it came out of, like, the planet. No! No! There can't... The resources cease to exist. Everything ceases to exist once a celestial destroys the planet. Oh, the resources are finite. Nigga, the whole planet is finite. Like, the planet is gone. Like, assuming... that's what Thanos meant, which that's not what he fucking meant because this was not planned. Oh, my face is already starting to hurt. Oh my god. This is annoying as hell. Like right in here, I'm starting to seize up.
happened on Titan that we didn't think to question way back then. Something that, I suspect, even Thanos himself might not have been super sure about.
No, the writers just didn't plan it. The writers just didn't plan it. The writers just didn't plan it.
If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that.
Remember that? Throughout Infinity War, we get Thanos talking about how he predicted that Titan was doomed, that he was sure a similar fate was going to happen to other planets, including Earth, and that he needs to snap away half the population, but we never get why he had.
Because you're stretching it
as these predictions, only that he's the only one who's smart enough to see the inevitable. Given what we knew about him at the time, he just seemed to be a committed Malthusian zealot concerned about resource management. But now, with
this fucking movie that's shit, that they were not planning when they were writing the Infinity series, Skotsky02, $5 super chat. Film theory trying to shove that round peg into a square hole as usual. Excuse me. Apparently, I only have a passing familiarity with film theory, or the film theorists.
Eternals, I think we have another explanation. Thanos actually did know all of this stuff because he himself was a malfunctioning Eternal. During the credits...
Alright, here's the thing. Some people say that Thanos is a deviant. And now this motherfucker's saying, oh, he's an Eternal. He's a malfunctioning robot. He was a malfunctioning robot the whole time. And his I'm not even going to say it, but this is from what I remember when I first scouted this video. I already know what he's going to say, and it's so bad. It's so shit.
For Eternals, we're introduced to, well, first we're introduced to probably the worst CGI in a Marvel movie ever, Pip the Troll. Woof! Was it just me, or did the dialogue just not match up with this guy's lips at all? The CGI effects here were like I was watching the Star Wars Special Edition. Anyway, Pip's the hype man for a character named Eros, also known by the nickname Star Fox.
Do a barrel roll!
Yeah, that joke's not gonna get old. And we're told that, just like in the comics, Eros is also an Eternal, who is also Thanos' brother, which seems to suggest that Thanos himself was an Eternal. Okay, so
I thought people said he was a deviant.
Let's talk about Thanos and Eros for a minute here. In the comics, they didn't originally have anything to do with Eternals or Celestials, but then a retcon came along which did make them part of the Eternals. In fact, that was part of the explanation for why Thanos was the Mad Titan. He was psychologically traumatized from being bullied as a kid because even though he himself was an Eternal, he'd been born with a recessive gene that made him look more like one of the deviants, i.e. that's why he's huge, purple, and, you know,
Oh, he only looks like a deviant. He's not actually a deviant.
Washboard chin. Whereas Eros was not only traditionally attractive, he has, no joke, the power to make you sexually attracted to him. A villain for the Me Too era if I've ever seen one. In short, we have the movie
AX Storm, he has a deviant gene. Thanos is part eternal, part deviant. Red Barrington, Thanos is an eternal with a deviant gene.
Be outright naming Thanos as the sole reason the emergence was delayed, thereby saving Earth for 5 extra years. We have comic evidence showing Thanos was an Eternal, as well as an end credit scene that suggests the exact same.
I mean, it seems like Star Fox is very masculine, and they fucking hire the most non-masculine fucking person to play the character. I don't see the appeal of Harry Styles. I just don't see it. He looks like a fucking twink. He still looks like a teenager. He's got oh god, what is his name? He's got Tom Holland syndrome. He is not attractive. Like, you cast him as this fucking character? Like, his whole power is to make you want to fuck him. Like, ugh, this is gonna be hell. That's gonna be hell to watch. Non-Vita Rex, $10 super chat. My guess is Titan's inhabitants wrecked their planet attempting to squeeze more resources from it than was wise, like how the Kryptons destroyed Krypton by harvesting material from the planet's core. Chris Rayner, Harry fucking Styles. Oh god, yeah, I don't know. You look at the picture of Star Fox, and he looks masculine as hell. I would have picked somebody like Matt Bomer as fucking Star Fox, not fucking Harry Styles, the boy bander.
Thing. So the pieces are lined up to prove that Thanos knew what he was doing all along. Why then was he going around talking about limited resources rather than, hey, I'm doing this because you're all gonna die when the space egg hatches? Well, I propose to you that he knew, but also kinda didn't know. In a turn.
He knew, but he didn't know. First, it was just like he's just some kind of dick. He was like, yeah, you're eventually gonna wear out your resources. But then he was like, oh, well, he's just not sure. Like, he goes from being like crazy to stupid, according to this video. Inner Atana, oh my god, Atana, $4.99 super chat. A lot of reviews are confusing, complicated, or convoluted. Momo Woods. So he guessed it then.
Eternals, we learned that Angelina Jolie's character Thena came down with an eternal specific mental illness called Madwiry. This caused her to have apocalyptic visions and lash out at her.
Oh yeah, and keep in mind, in the fucking comics, Eternals were not robots. So that fucking theory doesn't even make sense. And like I said, they didn't plan this to be connected. They did not plan Infinity War to be connected to Eternals, like not in the way he's saying. So how the fuck does that work? How does that work? Because if they didn't reference it and they had no plan for it, that means he would not have been written. If they did acknowledge that he was an Eternal, they would have gone for the more traditional comic version. They wouldn't have made him a fucking robot, because he doesn't come off like a fucking robot throughout the entire film. He doesn't come off with someone with programming. He just comes off like every other, like an evil asshole. So yeah.
her teammates. Midway through the movie, it's revealed that these moments of madness are actually glitches in her programming, when she gets to see glimpses of the team's previous planetary destructions. What if this, or something like it, is what happened to Thanos? Think about it. If he and Eros are also Eternals, it stands to reason that he could have had a similar breakdown, or had similar visions revealing the truth about what's really gonna happen when the world's population...
No, that you could... Well, he had visions. Well, why not be fucking explicit with those visions and say, I had a vision of the future that a fucking whole ass man will come out of Earth like a baby chick out of an egg. I don't know.
Reaches the
but he fucking doesn't. Like, you see any street preacher who claims they have seen Jesus in their dreams, they say explicitly what the fuck they have seen. Because he was confused and had visions means he didn't know what the fuck, he wasn't gonna say anything. He knew, but he didn't know. That's not how that works.
Unmarked, but maybe not a complete or coherent vision. So his interpretation of what he saw and felt became militant population balance, instead of, hey guys, what if we're actually a growth machine that feeds a giant star child living inside the planet? Why else would Mad Wiry be a plot point in an already overstuffed movie like Eternals? So that's a theory looking backwards. Thanos was right yet again. But for good measure, I wanted to include a short theory looking forwards as well. When confronted about the nature of life and death in the universe by Cersei, real casual conversation there, Arishem talks in pretty stark terms about how if the Celestials don't keep on cultivating the cosmos, everything will fall to darkness. Now, in the comics, the actual how and why of the Celestials changes all the time, but a consistent thing is that they're old.
And here's the thing about that, though. If the world's gonna fall to darkness, if they don't create all these Celestials, like, we're not gonna fucking experience it because you would have killed all of us. So who gives a shit? It doesn't even make sense. The world will fall into darkness if you don't let us kill you. I mean, you're not going to experience the darkness because we will have killed you. But, like, come on. Have us kill you so we can, like, save the Earth from this vague threat that we don't really know about. Come on.
As heck, representing the emergence of the first light energy in the universe. Therefore, they are enemies of emptiness and darkness on the cosmic scale. And in the Marvel Comics universe, cosmic darkness isn't just a what, it's a who. You see this guy? His name is Null, and I'm thinking Eternals just set him up as one of the MCU's next big cosmic bad
Spider-Man
guys.
symbol? The fuck? Is that the Spider-Man symbol on his chest? That's weird.
In the comics, Null is supposedly the embodiment of darkness, a creature of pure, absolute evil and destruction who seeks only to destroy all light, life, and existence. That makes the Celestials his ultimate enemies, and he's been trying to kill them off ever since they first appeared. The big floating head nowhere from the Guardians movies, like I mentioned earlier, that used to be a Celestial, and Null was the one who did the chopping, using his weapon, all black, the Necro Sword, a sword that would later fall into the hands of a character named Gore the God Butcher, a character that, wouldn't you know it, is about to be played by Christian Bale in the upcoming Thor movie, Love and Thunder. Now, this weapon in particular is interesting because it's so much more than a sword. It's actually a...
Wait, no, that's the Thor movie. I'm thinking that's one of James Gunn's shit. Never mind. But still, can we stop? Like, that doesn't mean this is connected to Infinity War. Because it's not connected to Infinity War, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like, oh, well, this guy's going to show up because it's going to be played by Christian Bale in this other movie. You still haven't made your case. Because it all starts with Thanos, like, the whole Infinity War thing. And it doesn't add up. So,
established to be a living parasitic organism that's existed for billions of years. In fact, in the comics lore, it's the first and most powerful symbiote ever made. With all black by his side, Null assembles his first true army, the symbiote race. That reminds me, who just got zapped into the MCU during a post-credit scene? Oh yeah, Venom and Eddie at the end of Venom 2. What coincidental timing. And this isn't just me pulling at some loose threads either. In the end credit scene with Dane Whitman, we see him reach for a sword and the glassy black polish on the blade starts to shimmer and jump towards his fingertips in a way that is not too dissimilar from the way symbiotes react in the Venom movies. Now, let me make...
What? Anybody want to fucking decode this shit? What? Oh boy. Somebody help me, please. I've been listening to this shit, but I just don't know what to do. WCW 2793, that's the ebony blade. It's not the same as Null's weapon. Extreme Gamer 719. Basically the sword is alive and it's Venom's great however many times grandfather. Ugh. The Unknown Banana. Can we all agree that the MCU ended with Endgame? I'm willing to do that.
Make this clear, I'm not saying that that sword is all black. It's more likely to be the ebony blade, a sword that's actually hinted at earlier in the movie when Thena's practicing her swordsmanship. But even still, all of it, from the mention of cosmic darkness to the sudden appearance of symbiotes to a living blade, heck, even the ebony blade itself is also traceable to...
So you've connected the ebony blade with a symbiote because, oh my god, it moves the same way as a symbiote. What?
Null's war against the Celestials, all of it seems to pave the way for Null. Because here's what I think is the most interesting takeaway of all this. I don't think we saw the good guys win in Eternals. Cersei herself questions whether stopping the emergence was the right move, and honestly, I don't think it was. Regardless of the value of humanity, which honestly the movie itself is kind of split on, the actions of the Eternals in this movie were short-sighted, saving one planet at the expense of billions. That, coupled with our hero's quest to let the other Eternals know the truth about their existence.
At the expense of billions, we don't know what's going to happen if all the Celestials we don't know what's going to happen if all the Celestials aren't woken up. We don't know. That's not a definite fucking threat. It's just like the climate change thing. We're going to die in like 20 years if we don't get this shit together. And like they've been saying it actually off and on every 10, 15 years that we're all gonna die in a few months. They've always said that. It's just some vague fucking like, we don't know. It's nothing fucking concrete. Well, we're all gonna die if we don't all die. Like, that's the whole basis of the fucking plot of the Eternals. Hey, we're gonna die if we don't all die. We might die in like 1,000 years if we don't die right now. I hate that movie. I just hate this fucking movie so much. We're all gonna die if we don't die this very second. Like, we're all gonna die in like 1,000 years, maybe 500 to 1,000 years if we don't die at this very second. Like, we're still gonna be fucking wiped off the face of the planet. Like, either way, so what the fuck? Who is this benefiting? It ain't benefiting us. So what the fuck? What's up? And because this is only the first movie and they have not hinted at really anything, we don't feel the threat, the imminent threat. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I hate this movie. Like, thank you for Pat for making me realize how much more horrible this is.
Sets in motion a series of dominoes that definitely looks like it's gonna wind up killing off a bunch of Celestials, opening the door to an era of darkness, an era of Null. But hey, let's be honest with ourselves. We all know the Marvel movie that we're all really excited about is Spider-Man No Way Home. Even as I write this, it's trending on Twitter with like 100,000.
Not really. I'm excited about certain elements. I want to see Green Goblin. Gabby. I want to see Gabby. And Doc Ock, I want to see what goes on with that. But yeah, no one cares about the movie. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Let's be fucking honest with ourselves here. I mean, Marvel fans, MCU fans will pretend they care about the whole ass movie. But people just care about seeing all three Spider-Mans together and the old villains from the Raimi movie. That's it. Excuse me. That's all people fucking care about. No one cares about the movie itself. Just elements. It's not the same thing. And of course, the consumers, the hardcore MCU fans, of course, Oh, come on, dude.
Tweets that a new Spider-Man poster just dropped with "Da-da! Green Goblin from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man." Well, you guys can catch up on that first appearance of that iconic villain literally nowhere here in the US. You actually have to pay full price to rent it or buy it wherever you're going to try to stream it. But it is available to stream over in Netflix Germany, which you can access thanks to our sponsor for today's episode, NordVPN. Did you know that there are global databases that tell you where in the world movies are available to stream on Netflix? With websites like that, plus Nord,
so basically the video's over because this endorsement is like, it goes all the way to the end of the video, so that's over. But yeah, that's fucking terrible. This is paper thin. I don't know what the hell he was thinking with this shit. I don't like, this is basically commonplace according to people who know more of him than I do. I have a passing familiarity with this channel. I've seen people tweet out his thumbnails and how fucking ridiculous they are and the concepts. But this is me finally like seeing up close and personal how bad his videos are. And I gotta say, yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty shit. A lot of stretching going on, a lot of stretching. Okay, I think I might be able to do one more video. And then I'm done. Because I have to eat something, I'm fucking fading, and then I have to kind of start on my hair. As you can see, it's in a fluff right now because I just got done washing it because I just gotten out the shower when I sat down to stream. So yeah, so I gotta eat something and I got stuff to do. I can do one more video. One more. Oh no. I don't know why that was my reaction. I was just like, oh no. And the title is Marvel's Eternals is pretty good. I feel like you should put a question mark next to pretty good. Pretty good. Jawan Bates, $5 super chat. Hey Jay, I missed your stream. Sorry. Oh, that's alright. Zigzag start on my hair. It's a 2-day process, son. Yeah, it's true. Ami Danielle, I think that's it. Oh wait, Jay has her fro out. Yep. I've had it out this whole time and you've never noticed. Krista, considering there is an artifact in the Elder Scrolls universe called Ebony Blade, I'm excited for the theorist video on how Elder Scrolls and Marvel are in the same universe. Oh yeah, you know that's coming. Wait, is that the Birds of Prey guy? No, it's not. I think I might have clicked on the wrong review, but I think we'll stick with this one.
Eternals is the latest film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starring an ensemble cast including Gemma Chan, Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Brian Tyree Henry, Angelina Jolie, and Salma Hayek. It's directed by Academy Award winner Chloe Zhao. Before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It does wonders in getting my content out there.
His
if you haven't
upper
already,
teeth are whiter than his bottom teeth. I don't know. I just thought I'd point that out. It was just weird.
Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to keep up to date with all my content. Marvel Studios' Eternals features an exciting new team of superheroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They're not exciting.
Ancient aliens who have been living on Earth in secret for thousands of years. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, an unexpected tragedy forces them out of the shadows to reunite against mankind's most ancient enemy, the Deviants. This is a movie that I've never really been particularly that excited about. It's not a movie that's really got my hype level soaring. I mean, this film has an incredible cast. It's got an incredible director behind it, Chloe Zhao.
You notice how people mention that shit first, right? It's amazing cast, Chloe Zhao, it's diverse. That's always the first thing. Never the writing. Never shit like this. Oh, the cast, Chloe Zhao.
So there are things in there that I was, excited about, but this isn't a movie that I've been particularly, really hyped to see. So going into this, I really just I set the bar fairly low. It's interesting to take a look at kind of the state of the MCU right now. We're really...
Well, see, that's why you thought it was pretty good, because you set your bar really low.
In this era where everything's being stripped right back to basics, like 2008 Phase 1 level basics. We're getting all these fresh faces coming into the...
They're going back to like 2008 Phase 1. Where are you getting that from? I haven't felt like, otherwise this shit would be good and enjoyable, but it's not. Going back to basics, my ass, they're doing something completely different, but not different at all. They're trying to be different, but trying to stick to the same shtick they always stick with, which is going to be their inevitable downfall. People are going to get tired of this shit soon.
Picture, new characters, new actors, as a lot of the older crew are starting to trickle out of the picture. Of course, the Disney Plus shows are playing around with some of the older characters that we know and love, but the movies, particularly when we're talking about the Eternals and Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, these are movies that really feel like Phase 1 pictures. And in its own way...
No! Hell no! They do not! They do not! No!
Eternals does kind of feel small and intimate, but it is...
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's just boring. That's not the same thing as small and intimate.
Obviously on this quite enormous scale. This movie is just under 2.5 hours long. I believe it's the second longest movie in the MCU, and let me tell you, it does feel long. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
you see how they do? This is a problem, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I could feel the length of this fucking film, but it's not a bad thing.
We've got so many characters.
And, like, there are movies where you're like, okay, you could feel the length, but it's not a bad thing because you're having so much fun or you're enjoying yourself so much. But the way he was talking about, like, the tone of his voice, it did not sound like a positive attribute that he was explaining, it didn't sound like a positive attribute he was describing.
Just thrown into the mix here, 7 or 8 new characters, and the great thing
10 new characters
about Marvel so far over the last 12, 13 years by this point is that they take their time in their storytelling. Eternals kind of takes the route that Guardians of the Galaxy did, and that's throwing a lot of characters at us at once and teaming them all up in the one movie.
Oh, don't you dare compare it to that. They just throw them all at you at once. But, like, they're already together in the beginning of the film. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy where we see Peter Quill alone doing his damn thing, and then he slowly, like, gathers all these people either by happenstance or whatever. They're already together, and we're already supposed to be on board with them despite not really seeing how they are or how they work together. There's a difference. There's a fucking difference.
I guess you can't really go and do solo movies straight up because you need to know them as a team before you do split them up onto their own solo adventures. I think it's the right route to take with this particular movie, just as it was the right route.
No. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, the Eternals, they're always gonna, they do come as like a package set, especially considering their backstory. But, you still, like, no. There needed to be some build-up, something. Make the characters, flesh out the characters, something. Ugh.
To take with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie in the first place. So the length is warranted, and in that...
Was it? Because they barely, like, it felt hollow, despite being 2.5 hours long. Like, you learned nothing. You experienced nothing, despite the fucking movie being 2.5 hours long.
It does stick, I guess, to that formula that Marvel has, which is take your time to develop your characters, to get your audience invested in these characters. And let me tell you, it does take its time. It doesn't take...
It does take its time.
Like 8...
Yeah, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It's just long. Because they spend most of the time not fucking doing anything. And they have 10 different fucking characters to follow around. But they don't develop them. They kind of just say that, oh, look, they're there and they do this. There's no real development there.
Movie's worth of time, but it takes close to 2.5 hours worth of time to really get you up to speed with these characters, the team, who they all are, what they're doing. And look, it is a bit of a complex story, but it's easy to follow. I've heard a lot of people calling this movie dense. That's the word that's being floated around. I wouldn't say it's a dense movie. This is a movie that's very easy to follow. That said, I do understand why this movie might not be for everyone, because not everyone loves these big, long, epic films. And to me...
You said it was more slow-paced and intimate. What happened? You see, he just switched up on that. This is more like the slow, intimate film. Sometimes we don't like these big epics. What the fuck do you think? Do you think these other Marvel movies are? Like the Infinity War saga? Come on, those were big epics. Oh, you're just not into epics. No, nigga, we seen those. This is not an epic.
As someone who loves an epic, some of my favorite movies include Ben-Hur, Lawrence of Arabia, Gone with the Wind, these big, sprawling epics.
As someone who loves epics, Gone with the Wind, Lawrence of Arabia. Really? You're putting this movie in the same league as that? Even if you aren't comparing quality, you're still putting them in the same league, in the same category of epic. And I'm saying I'm a pass, man. It's a no from me, dog.
2.5, 3, 4 hour movies. I'm used to sitting there and watching these epic films that are slowly burning and take a long time to
burning. Joe Broham Milton epic. Krista, it's long, it's not dense, it's not epic, it's basically it's boring. Yeah.
Get to the point, but I love that. And this movie, I feel like, is the first MCU movie that has kind of taken that route. There's quite a bit of action sequences in here, but they are few and far between, and I understand for a lot of people that are going into a superhero movie, this might not be what they want, because there are long...
Oh, the action scenes are few and far between. So are the characterization scenes. The character development and all, like, the camaraderie between the characters, those are few and far between too. I understand if you don't like that sort of thing.
Long stretch.
Like, it's not an action. It's not like a deep, intimate exploration of human nature. It's just and that's why it's such a piece of shit, because it's nothing. It's a nothing movie. There's nothing going on. That whole deep emotional shit people are talking about, they're only saying that is because this movie feels different from other MCU films. Because the tone is different. It's slightly, kind of different. Oh my god, the colors are muted. This means this is fucking more mature.
Pictures of talking, expository scenes, and monologues and stuff like this. This is a movie that does take its time to introduce you
to say nothing
to these characters by way mostly of dialogue and going back and forwards in time and
But was the dialogue good? That's not what you're not telling me that. You're not cluing me in to how good that aspect was. You're just saying, well, there was just so much dialogue. It wasn't dense at all. It was all the dialogue.
Showing you things that have happened in the past that really... This movie really... I mean, it's quite obvious that they're going to do another one of these, or these characters are going to continue on in the MCU somehow. This movie really works as... Like, if you think back to Iron Man 1, there's not a lot that happens in that movie. It's a big, just introductory piece to the character of Iron Man.
But they made the most of the time. That's the thing. You can forgive the fact that, because, like, a lot of people use... I remember this fucking review of Godzilla, the 2014 version, and people were always complaining about... Like, in the review, they complained about how Godzilla didn't show up until, like, almost an hour in. And then they compared that to Iron Man, the first Iron Man, where he's not Iron Man, it's like 40 minutes into the film. Like there's a difference. Like they made the most of their time in Iron Man. And in the Godzilla film, they were just like, oh, okay, we're just going to sit around and we're going to talk about how the devastation, and oh, there goes Godzilla. And like you're just slugging around and like slugging along until something good happens. Because what you were getting, like the in-betweeny shit, is not any good. It's not insightful. Like Iron Man had fucking discussions about whether or not his place in the arms dealing business was appropriate. Or the weapons manufacturing business was appropriate. And he had a whole existential crisis. He was kidnapped. And then there was the whole contemplating what he wanted to do with his life. And then becoming a hero and all that shit. And then he becomes a hero. See how I just mapped that shit out? I can't tell you shit about Eternals. I can't tell you shit. I was able to bullet point every fucking thing that happens before Tony becomes Iron Man. It wasn't everything. There was some other shit in there too. But like just basic guiding points of what summaries of certain plot points that happen before he even becomes Iron Man. Because that's how good that movie was. You remember everything that happened. Eternals, I can't tell you what happened. I can't tell you what happens before the shit goes down or what feeds into. I can't tell you because it's not good. It's uneventful. It's not interesting. And the characters, you don't give a shit because they are like sitting around half the time contemplating whether or not they're gonna let people die, and there's times where they just let people sit around and let people die right in front of them, a couple feet away from them, and you're like, why do we give a fuck about you people? Like you're supposed to have human emotions, supposed to be going to bat for us. And like there's a scene where they literally say, oh, you guys are heroes. We're heroes. That's where we save people. That's what heroes do. No, but you haven't fucking saved anybody. And you're going off the fucking orders. Your robots going off the orders of a giant fucking rock in the sky. So what the fuck? This movie is nothing. It's fucking nothing.
And not a lot really happens. I feel like the Eternals is the same sort of thing. Not a lot really does happen in this movie. There's not a huge story. It really exists to set up these characters and to set up their story.
There's no story, but it's used to set up these characters. It does definitely have a fucking story. It's just a bad one.
Like the Eternals is the same sort of thing. Not a lot really does happen in this movie. There's not a huge story. It really exists to set up these characters and to set up their story so that
the movie's not dense because there's nothing fucking happening in the film. You see how, like I said, every fucking review like this, when they say, F the haters, this movie was good. I mean, he doesn't do the F the haters thing. But when people like bad shit, they, like, when you listen to them talk, they can't say anything good without their brain kicking in and be like, yeah, you know you full of shit, right? And they accidentally say negative shit that makes the movie bad. And then they say some other shit that contradicts this shit. And then they say, well, okay, that thing is bad, but it's not bad, though. I liked it. Like, their brain is going back and forth between, okay, I want to feel good. And then your brain being like, fuck you. Think, you asshole. Think.
In the next one, they have a trajectory point where they can really go and explode into the MCU. The great thing about this is, though, through these characters who look like they're going to be pretty pivotal going forward in the MCU, the great thing is it opens up these new pockets of the universe. And these are pockets of the universe that we've been really, really excited to be diving into for maybe the last 5 or 6 years. We are introduced to the Celestials kind of on a more intimate level. We get to know who they really are, what their purpose really is.
Who they really are? Really? Who are they exactly? I want someone who likes this fucking movie to tell me past character descriptions who these fucking people are. Like, I'm talking like basic. Oh well, this is like a bad description of a character. Well, he cooks things and he makes jokes and shit. Like, no, that's not a good description. Happy birthday, Paulie. $4.99 super chat. If the film is truly good enough, they shouldn't need to acknowledge the haters. True.
And while this movie doesn't explore it too deeply, we do know this is something that's going to be very much a focus of the MCU going forward. And now, if we thought Thanos and the Infinity War was one massive scale, you know, kind of story arc, this next thing is going to be humongous. And I come out of Infinity War and Endgame going, you know, there's no way you can top this. There's no way you can get bigger and better than this. But
yeah,
knowing the scale and the scope we're looking at here with the Eternals, Marvel is about to go into a whole new territory. I don't quite know if
they can't top this. But no, they did top this. Because this thing came after the other thing. You know, the only reason why you think it tops that, because it came after the thing that you already said that they couldn't top. If they came out with a fucking Cool Cat movie, a high budget cool Cat movie, you'd be like, there's nothing this tops Infinity War. It could come out with any fucking thing, and you'd be like, this tops it. Definitely. I bet you said that about every fucking Disney Plus show. Oh, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier totally tops Infinity War. Oh, what's the other fucking one? WandaVision, that tops it. Oh my god, Loki, it tops it. My girlfriend's boyfriend, he tops me.
most people are ready for it. It's very different. And this is something everyone is saying, is this is much different to any Marvel movie we've ever seen, and that is true. But I think it's almost unlike any other superhero movie we've seen on the big screen. A lot of people are also saying it doesn't feel like it fits in with Marvel. I tend to disagree with that though, because this does feel like a Marvel movie. There's links, there's connections, and it is very much rooted within this same world, and it does feel like it fits.
Okay, like that food that they're eating though, when they were at Dude's little hut, that shit looked good as hell. Like, oh my god. I'm already hungry right now because I skipped dinner to do the stream. And I'm hungry as fuck, man. That fucking food, I see crispy, flaky shit. So, oh, I see something with ricotta cheese and I'm going nuts. Like, oh, fuck.
You can kind of see how they're going to start connecting this up with other characters and other story plot points and stuff. Now, of course, Marvel has chosen an auteur filmmaker for this one in Chloe Zhao. Of course, directed last year's terrific Nomadland. And she brings her kind of auteur style to this movie. It is very much...
Which was a detriment. It's like, I'm not saying she's a bad director. I'm just saying this is not the genre. I've said this before. This is not the genre for her. Doesn't mean she's shit. It just means this is not for her. I'm sorry, but like, it's not. Just like with the director of, I said this before, of X-Men Origins Wolverine, that was not the franchise for him. Sorry. It just wasn't like... But like someone said in chat, they bring in and what I've said before, they bring in these fucking indie directors so they can control what they do. So they can watch them and make sure they're making a product that they want and and they know they're more malleable than someone who's got like 20 years, 30 years in the game. Like, you can't hire Ridley Scott to do a fucking Marvel movie. Well, especially not now. Considering what he has said. But yeah, you can't bring him in to make no fucking Marvel movie. It's not happening. You can't bring Scorsese to make a Marvel movie for obvious reasons, once again. But yeah, you can't bring someone reputable to make a Marvel film. It's just not gonna happen. Mackie Sky, $2 super chat. Jay, what made you want to start a review channel? I mean, well, I got a big mouth, and I have opinions. That's about it. Like, this was hard. I started this channel just to make like fan videos and shit, and then I was like, you know what? I got a lot to say about bad movies and just bad media in general. Fuck it. Let's do the damn thing. Let's monetize it. Let's just do it. That's basically it. Like this, my channel is like a hodgepodge of different shit. You will probably find my fake trailers and like fan-made shit on here somewhere. I might not advertise it up front on the front page, but it's on there. It'll take you years to get to it, but you'll find it. Atomic American warm, flaky, gooey toaster strudel. Or a Master DX. I got a big mouth. JL 21. Like, what? That's an innocuous statement. You cannot read anything into that unless you are truly perverted. William Shelton auteur style means 95% of the movie was outside her control and made by CGI artists. True. Yes. The only thing she was in charge of was like cinematography, and I can tell you that right fucking now. And how the movie was color graded. That's it. And maybe editing, but that's it.
It's very much a Chloe Zhao film, visually at least. Gorgeous. I unfortunately did not get to see this at the IMAX.
And maybe the directing, because like some of these actors come off wooden as hell, and I don't think it's their fault. Willie Highs, you're good at it, and you're seriously underrated. Oh, that's the type of shit that makes me want to hide in embarrassment, like in a good way, because it's very flattering. Chris Rayner, I love your random crappy movie reviews. Oh, thank you. I got more coming, baby. I got more crappy movie reviews. I still got Dracula. I'm still working on it, y'all. There's some people still asking me if I'm working on it, and I am.
IMAX, would have loved to have seen this on the IMAX screen because it was shot for the IMAX.
What pisses me off though is like YouTube is like unsubscribing people from my channel, and I used to have like nearly 1,000 watchers on my NOC streams, and now it's like half that. Like, come on, YouTube, get your shit together. Axel Thunderpaw, $5 super chat. Love your content. Have some furry money. Who do you hate more, Alice or Ryan from Batwoman? Oh god, I've been watching the season 3 episodes. And they've actually cleaned up Ryan's attitude. Like, she's not really bitchy like in season 2. Woof. Season 2, she was a cut and a half. Now they've eased up on the woke shit. Excuse me. There's still some stuff there, but they've eased up. And they've cleaned up her attitude, Ryan's attitude. I mean, Alice is the same. She's the fucking same. She's always going to be the same. I hate her. With season 2, I would have said I hate Ryan more. Even though I also hate Alice. But I would have said I hate Ryan more season 2. Season 3, I hate Alice more because they've cleaned up Ryan a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot. I'm going to say a lot. She's been more, I'm not saying the show is good now. Like, don't anybody get hinky in the chat, because I'm not saying the show is good. It's still shit. It's just more boring now that they've cleaned up a few things. But I'm still going to come out with reactions. I just got to get some shit together. I got to film more from my editor so he can put this out. You know. Joe Vinny the Hyena, $5 super chat, asking YouTube to get their shit together. Yeah, I mean, my viewership is like gone in half on my streams, and it's like, fuck it. Like, fuck. And it's not like the viewer, like I said, it's not the subscribers or the viewers' fault. I think it's YouTube. I've heard people say that they've been unsubscribed from me. So yeah, YouTube, fix it. Fix it!
And you can tell in a lot of the shot compositions and stuff like that, this is definitely intended to be viewed on the grandest scale possible. Chloe Zhao does a pretty good job with this movie. It doesn't really feel like her normal fare, and to go from Nomadland...
No shit! She only made like one movie, and it was about, like I said, about some destitute white chick shitting in a bucket. This doesn't feel like her normal fare. No fucking shit!
Which is just such a small, simplistic, bare-bones film to essentially what is the most grandiose Marvel Cinematic Universe movie ever is a huge leap.
The most grandiose Marvel Cinematic movie. Keep in mind, this nigga just said he saw Infinity War and Endgame and thought they couldn't top it. And he thought this shit was the most grand... Like, that screenshot have the monster behind him. Like, that's funny as hell. Wait a minute. I want to get a screen grab of that. That's funny. I don't know. For some reason, I just think that's funny. Screen grab. Like the way he's all blurred out and shit. Anyway.
That does very much lend itself very well to the narrative style of this film. But then when it comes to some of the bigger, more bombastic scenes, like the action scenes and stuff like that, I do feel like Zhao...
Okay, that monster looks okay, but that's only like one, like, cool-looking monster that I remember from this film. And I only remember it now because I saw it again. I didn't remember it from memory. It just, like it was a trigger. Like, oh, that was kind of nice looking, wasn't it? Trencher, 1375, 50 NOC. YouTube is silencing non-conforming critical voices all over. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Trencher. Oh my god, I need water and food. Don't worry though, we're almost done with this video, and it's actually about time for me to end it anyway. So, but oh, I'm glad I made it. One and only sound. Did he even see Winter Soldier or Civil War? We don't even need... Oh my god. Go to the bigger versus Thanos ones to look at obviously bigger films. Oh my god, these hiccups! Is it normal to get fucking hiccups as you get older? Like, more hiccups? Ashura Conla. I was locked up for 11 years. Oh, Jesus. I'll say this. It's been like, 7 episodes and she hasn't said it. That's progress. Old outlet, the kid, reviewers oblivious to good film writing. The monster behind Jay Longbone about to roast them to dust. Oh god, yeah, someone meme that. I'm not gonna do it because that would be, that would be funky for me to meme myself. I don't know. I don't like that look. That's not a good look. But someone else meme it and send it to me.
The big
and send it to me on Twitter and I'll retweet
more
it.
Bombastic scenes, like the action scenes and stuff like that. I do feel like Zhao does kind of struggle a little bit under the weight of this whole thing. I feel like most filmmakers would struggle with the weight of a movie like this, unless
filmmakers who are experienced with this weight of film would be fine. Like, I think Quentin Tarantino could do a Marvel film. Easy. His movies, like, especially his more current movies, have a lot of fucking weight and have a lot of like crazy set design and accuracy to history and shit. Like, he knows how to do this shit. He could do this shit.
Like a seasoned block.
Didn't he want to do a damn Star Trek movie? And instead we got fucking STD and we got STD and Star Trek Picard. That bullshit.
Blockbuster filmmaker who's done these kind of movies over and over and over again. You do.
Oh god, the signing. It's not cute when you figure it. When you figure how this would be oh god, I can't even say it. How this would be implemented in like a fight or like some kind of large scale battle. Like, how is she supposed to communicate with y'all? It like in a bigger battle than that. Let's be real. That's why that's why they didn't get involved in the Thanos thing, because her deaf ass would not be able to communicate with them during the battle, because it's a lot bigger scale. Like, don't get any. That's what Erisham really meant. Don't get into any big scale fights because the deaf chick, We gotta cater to the special needs people of the group. God damn it.
We sense that there is a little bit of a struggle of a filmmaker who does feel like they're, you know, a little bit outside of their comfort zone trying to handle some of these bigger scenes, and they never quite reach that big zenith that they really should. They don't pack the huge punch that you would expect from these kind of big action sequences.
Okay, so at first it was purposefully more intimate and low key than other Marvel films. Now it's, well, because she can't handle it. So like the big scenes just didn't give as good as a punch as they should have. Which is it? I mean, which is it? But you see what I'm saying? They always like, oh, when someone tries to defend trash, they always end up sounding like this.
That's really my only major gripe with this movie, is that at times it feels like where it should be going all out, it feels just maybe a little bit restrained. I would say that this is probably,
I thought you said you liked the fact that it was restrained.
Above mid-tier Marvel movie. It's a movie that I liked. I thought it was good, and there's definitely potential here. And particularly when we get to, there's a couple of course, there are a couple of post-credit scenes, and as they usually do, they push forward a narrative. They give you a little glimpse of what we might see in the future. These are some things that have made me really excited to see where these Eternals characters are going to go. And at that, I'll be giving Eternals a 3.5 out of 5. Eternals.
Yeah, that's way too good a score. A 1 would be fine. Maybe a 1.5.
It's easily the single most unique and visually stunning Marvel.
It is not the most it's a group of niggas with powers going after a fucking threat. How many Marvel movies have we seen like that? Well, it's unique in that it's really confused about the morality of its own message. That's basically it. It doesn't challenge your morality in a way it's supposed to. It challenges it in a way where it's just fucking confusing and you don't know what the hell's going on. I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again.
Marvel movie ever. It's a return to the grand Hollywood epic on the biggest scale possible, and while it understandably might not work for some, this behemoth of a picture is, for better or worse, a hugely welcome and refreshing entry in the MCU. Eternals opens in Australian cinemas on Thursday the 4th of November 2021 and rolls out globally from Friday the 5th of November 2021. Thanks to the incredible team over at the Walt Disney Company Australia for inviting me to a very early preview of the Eternals for the purposes of this review.
That's why he likes the film. He saw it early. Thank you for inviting me to an early screening of this terrible film. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't trash someone's movie after getting an early screening. Like, you would hope that Hollywood would be more accepting of different opinions, and they would invite you to free events and like early screening, despite what you felt about the film. But this is what people have to do in order to keep getting those special privileges. I mean, come on, look at Chris Tuckman. I'm only going to do reviews of positively now. I'm only going to review films positively. No, because you're not doing it for some altruistic reason or because you want to improve your mental health. It's because you want to keep those fucking privileges going. Like, come on. Because you're a fellow filmmaker now and you feel like you got to kiss ass. Well, that too. Because you're a fellow filmmaker now, you feel like you got to kiss ass. And well, they worked really hard on stuff, and who am I to fucking criticize something somebody worked hard on? Which is just, that logic does not hold up. That logic is shit. Bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. But anyway, that's about it for tonight. I'm fucking starving, and I need to do something to my hair. Oh, Chekhov's Antlers. Access Media. No, wait, no, that was George's Rex. Access Media. He says sellouts. Jake Bobbinreith. Sellouts. Trash kittens. Hey, no wonder he likes it. Yeah, when you get shit for free, of course it's a lot better. Anyway. Yeah, that's... Oh, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. I have got to do something to my hair. I gotta eat. I gotta get ready for this Thanksgiving. I don't want to be looking like no piece of shit, so I gotta go do the damn thing. Thank you for watching with me and suffering through these really garbage reviews. I'll see you next time, next month, with another NOC and probably some more streams in between that. And like I said, I'm still working on the BBC Dracula Part 2 review. And like I said, so I got some other reviews I'm coming out with, and some other videos that I'm going to be working on. I'm not gonna tell you what they are because I don't want to give any you know, I think I already talk about them in another stream though, like an idiot, but I don't want to give any, like, impose any expectations yet, because it's just gonna stress me out if I if I'm promising films that I haven't even if I'm promising videos that I haven't even worked on yet. But yeah, everybody, good night. Have a good evening and goodbye. Love ya.